What's up guys, this is your favorite fanfic YouTuber, the Fanfic Majesty, and welcome to another amazing video. You can follow me on Patreon for exclusive stories.
6 He. Chapter 126 Chi-Ya's Initial Strength, the Powerful Thunder Palm Open Black Lens Bracket Subscription Close Black Lens Bracket. I have to say, you are really lucky, you are the first person to see my true face since I entered the Island of Greed. Once I change back to my original form, I won't be able to control my strength, and I might kill you. I saw that BCG's figure kept getting bigger and taller, and her petite body instantly turned into the appearance of a muscular ant, which directly made the frightened Bahrain fall into a daze. Boom. Just when Bahrain was shocked, the transformed Bisky made a move. She strode forward, and the whole beach seemed to shake. The powerful aura on his body was so oppressive that he couldn't move. Boom. After a while, BCG directly threw a heavy punch, the air burst and there was a loud bang. No. Bahrain shouted in horror. Bisky's fist slowly enlarged in his dilated pupils, and then slammed heavily on his face. Almost a punch to the head. Bahrain's face instantly deformed, and then sank in, the nasal bone and cheeks were all shattered, a stream of blood gushed out and dyed the beach red, and the whole person was thrown away directly. It shot along the waves, and finally smashed a deep hole on the beach, and the figure stopped. Only this strength. With disdain on her face, BCG walked towards Bahrain step by step. Huh, you're still alive, it's amazing. There aren't many people in this world who can take a single blow from me. BCG walked to the deep pit and stared at Bahrain covered by the sand with a calm face. Even though the nasal bone and facial bone were broken, Bahrain still struggled to squeeze out a voice. Since your strength is so strong, why do you have to hide it? There are two reasons. The trump card is usually reserved for the last. Of course, there is a more important point, that is, I hate my original appearance. My body is too tall and strong. I don't like it. You probably feel the same way, don't you? BCG raised her hand, grabbed Bamen by the collar, and lifted him slowly from the sand burial. But in the next second, Bahrain was motionless, seriously injured and unconscious. But, BCG scolded disdainfully. The other side. The battle between Gon, Chi-Ya and Shabu is also imminent. Whoosh whoosh. Gon, Chi-Ya, and Bahrain are constantly chasing after each other. Gon, in terms of skill and muscle strength, after these days of special training, we should have the upper hand. However, in terms of energy and actual combat experience, we are far behind him. But fortunately, we are 2-on-1, which can fully make up for that. Soon, Chi-Ya, who wanted to distance himself from Shabula, stopped slowly. Such a long distance was in his plan, and it was time for a battle to determine the outcome. Gon nodded and continued. Chi-Ya, you have a better brain. Later, I will attack from the front, and you will attack from the side. Let him know how powerful we are. Rock. Scissors. Rock. In an instant, the chi on Gon's body began to increase, and then gather to the boxing champion. Both of their hands were injured to varying degrees in the match with Leza before, so even though they recovered now, they still have sequelae. Gon could faintly feel the pain spreading from the punch to his whole body. Gon knew that he could throw 2 punches at most, and after 2 punches, the injury of his hands might be worse again, returning to the state of the previous match with Leza. At that time, even if they team up with Chi-Ya, they might not be Shabu's opponent. Enhancer. Sensing the terrifying power of Gon's fist, Shabu's face instantly turned serious. It seems that we can't confront this brat head on, we can only avoid it and break it one by one. Boom. Just when Shabu was thinking, Gon made a move. He stepped on his foot and rushed towards Shabu at a very fast speed. His fist was full of dazzling golden light. Blocked in this punch. Wow. On the side of Shabu's figure, his body was in a half-squat position, and then his feet suddenly exerted force, and his body jumped high, avoiding Gon's strongest blow. Rumble. With this punch, Gon couldn't stop the momentum. At the moment Shabu avoided it, the terrifying punch directly hit a big tree not far away. Messy. Humph. Too naive. The actual combat experience is a mess. Seeing that Gon's punch failed, Shabu couldn't help but shook his head. It seemed that he thought highly of Gon, a brat. Wow. Suddenly, at this moment, countless figures of Chi-Ya appeared behind Shabu like a ghost. Not good. Forget that there is a difficult kid. All the attention was on Gon, and Shabu was careless for a while, and Chi-Ya made a fool of him. Court death. Shabu, who didn't know Chi-Ya's killer's body skills, kicked Chi-Ya directly. It's a pity that this whip kick only hit Chi-Ya's afterimage. It didn't hit me. Chi-Ya's voice came to Shabu's ears like a ghost, and Chi-Ya's figure appeared above Shabu's head at some point. The first experiment begins. ZZZ. In the other palms, strong electric currents are accumulating, which is Chi-Ya's chi, and as a transmuter's mind, he can condense powerful electric currents, smashing enemies with the violent power of electric currents. This move of Thunder Palm is Chi-Ya's nirvana created in the past few days, and now he can practice it with Shabu. In an instant, Shabu, who was hit by the Thunder Palm, screamed in pain, his figure was constantly repelled, smoke was faintly emitted from his chest, and even his clothes were scorched by the powerful electric current. Apparently, Chi-Ya's move was very powerful and caused a lot of damage to Shabu. Isn't the power enough to stun him? Seeing that Shabu was just screaming in pain, without much damage, Chi-Ya couldn't help frowning. Damn it, you little brat, I'm going to kill you with my own hands. Bryn was instantly irritated, his face suddenly darkened, all the energy in his body burst out, and a terrifying murderous aura crushed Chi-Ya. Chapter 177 Iwan, HxH's terrible electric shock open black lens bracket subscription close black lens bracket. Kill me. HMPH, it depends on whether you have the strength. HxH snorted coldly. Rock. Scissors. Rock. Just when Shabu was angry, Gon's voice came from behind him. I saw Gon squatting halfway. A terrifying aura was being accumulated in his fist, and the dazzling golden light shone through the deep forest. Not good. Feeling the threat behind him, Shabu's face couldn't help but change drastically. Facing the combination of Gon and HxH, even if he is as strong as him, he cannot be underestimated. After all, as the enhancer Nen, Gon's strength is too terrifying. With Gon's punch, Shabu might be injured too, not to mention HxH watching over him. This punch must hit him hard. Gon gritted his teeth and concentrated all his energy into this punch. He knew that his hand could support 2 punches at most, and if he used the third punch, his injured right hand might be useless. So, Gon pinned all his hopes on this punch. Boom. In an instant, Gon's figure flickered, and he punched Shabu. As an enhancer Nen, it is necessary to fight in close quarters to unleash the strongest power. Bryn snorted coldly, his figure retreated extremely quickly, and then jumped high, dodging Gon's attack again. Boom. Gon's fist failed again, and the terrifying punch directly uprooted many big trees. What a terrible punch. The strength of this brat is really terrifying. If you get hit by one of his punches, you may not die but you will be seriously injured. Seeing the big trees falling not far behind him, and looking at Gon's twisted wrists, Bryn couldn't help but take a deep breath. Looks like Gon has reached his limit. Next, the second experiment. Taking advantage of Gon's shot, a yo-yo ball appeared in HxH's hand at some point. Call out. In an instant, HxH raised his hand, and the yo-yo flew out of his hand, leaving a crackling sound in the void, entangled towards Bryn. Yo-yo. Sure enough, it's something for children to play with. Want to defeat me with this thing? Idiots are dreaming. Bryn's face was full of disdain. He turned his head slightly, and easily avoided HxH's attack, only to see the yo-yo cut through the void, and then hit heavily on the big tree not far away, knocking the big tree directly cut off at the middle. This brat. Bryn was taken aback, completely disbelieving what he saw. A yo-yo can actually cut a big tree down the middle, what kind of strength is this? Shish. After cutting off the big tree, the yo-yo bounced back into HxH's hand again. This is an alloy yo-yo made to order by my big brother. It weighs a full 50 kilograms. If you get hit, it will hurt. HxH grinned, and the yo-yo in his hand struck out again, entwining towards Shabu. Damn it, the skills and speed of these two brats are extremely tricky. If it weren't for their suppression in actual combat experience, I'm afraid I would have to explain it here. HxH's fierce offensive made Deshibu feel scared. 1 against 2 is really too much to bear, and if you are not careful, you will really put your life here. Suddenly, facing the terrible speed and flexibility of the yo-yo, it was difficult for Shabu to avoid it. He could only block it with his hands, but the terrible force on the yo-yo directly knocked him into the distance and smashed him into the grass. Hateful. Shabu wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth, and stabilized his figure after flying 10 meters. Under the action of centrifugal force and weight, the attack power of the yo-yo is really amazing, and it can even hurt yourself. Shish. Shabu stared at HxH firmly, and saw that the speed of the yo-yo in HxH's hand increased again, and the naked eye could no longer catch its shadow. As long as the guy opens up on the right side after I make a certain attack, as long as he grabs the yo-yo and tries to keep his hands free, I have a chance. Shabu stepped on his feet and rushed towards HxH. A powerful aura also erupted from his body. Exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark comma comma. Seeing Shabu rushing over, the yo-yo in HxH's hand struck out again, piercing through the void and hitting Shabu. 0. However, Shabu was not stupid. He suddenly exerted force under his feet, his figure leapt high, and at some point in his hand, there was an extra stone, and he threw it directly at HxH. This guy. Seeing that Shabu saw his own flaws, HxH's expression changed drastically, and the yo-yo in his hand also changed its track because of this, allowing Shabu to find an opportunity to take advantage of. Good chance. Boom. Shabu suddenly rushed towards HxH, and kicked HxH heavily. HxH didn't have time to dodge, so he could only block forward with his right hand, but because of the injury to his right hand before, he couldn't use his strength. Asterisk 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 asterisk. 0. With this kick, HxH was kicked flying. Puff. Shish. HxH smiled and played with the yo-yo in her hand, and walked towards Shabu step by step. Suddenly, just as Shabu was extremely happy, the yo-yo in Quan Meng's hand detoured behind him as early as the moment Shabu kicked this kick. Comma 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 comma. In an instant, a mouthful of blood spurted out from HxH's mouth. Uncle, your ability to fight is very strong. At this moment, HxH stopped 3 meters away from Shabu, and the yo-yo came out again, entwining towards Shabu. HxH grinned. The hope of victory had suppressed the pain in his right hand, so that he could not feel the slightest pain. Shabu grinned, revealing a confident smile. Immediately afterwards, waves of electric current spread to Shabu along the thin wire of the yo-yo, shocking him all over his body, causing him to fall into a faint instantly. In an instant, Shabu was wrapped in yo-yo strings like a zongzi. Good. Kicked your ribs. Exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark. In this battle, HxH won. Didn't you know that yo-yos can turn? In an instant, the yo-yo hit the back of Shabu's head hard, and his whole figure fell heavily to the ground. Zzz. Huh. With such a heavy yo-yo hitting the back of your head, you can't maintain consciousness. Chapter 126 The Breath of the Archangel. The Island of Greed comes to a successful end. Open black lens bracket subscription close black lens bracket. Chiya, well done. Just after Chiya stunned Shabu, Gon walked to Chiya's side step by step with heavy steps. Gon, are your hands all right? Chiya slowly put away the yo-yo, and looked at Gon worriedly. It's okay, it's just a relapse of the old injury, it's not a big problem, I should still be able to keep my hands. Gon raised his hands and blinked at Chi. You know how to be brave, if Lan Fei finds out, I'm afraid he will be talked about. Chiya gave Gon a blank look. Let's go, let's meet up with Lan Fei, his battle should have ended long ago. Gon made a face towards Chiya, then turned and walked towards the direction where Lan Fei was fighting the bomb demon Ganshu. I didn't expect that the trio of bomb demons, who were feared in the game, would be defeated by us. Although we paid a big price this time, it can be regarded as getting rid of all the players. The Scourge. Chiya thought to himself, dragged the fainted Shabu and chased after Gon step by step. Half an hour later, on the endless expanse of grass, Lan Fei, Chiya, Gon, and Bisaki stood side by side. In front of them, there were Balan and Shabu, members of the bomb trio. As for Ganshu, Lan Fei had already been blasted into a blood mist by using the sparkling fruit ability, leaving no bones left. Are you awake? At this time, Chiya spoke first, and he stared calmly at Balan and Shabu who opened their eyes from fainting. One of them was stunned by Chiya, and the other was knocked unconscious by BCG's punch. We lose. Bahrain turned his head with difficulty, and glanced at Shabu lying beside him. Although he was unwilling, there was nothing he could do. Bahrain, we lost. By the way, where's Ganshu? Shabu opened his eyes with difficulty. He glanced at Bahrain lying beside him, and at the four Lan Fei standing in front of him, but he couldn't find Ganshu. I'm sorry, the attack was a bit heavy, I've already killed him. Of course, Ganshu deserves to die. After all, there are too many players who died in his hands. As for you two, as long as you are obedient, I can spare your lives. After all, your crimes are not as great as Ganshu's, and you all obey Ganshu's orders. Lan Fei said lightly, call out your collection card book first. Gon said coldly, all the cards you obtained by betraying your companions should be returned. Bisky also spoke. There is a condition, please use the breath of the Archangel to heal our injuries. I have 6 copies of the breath of the Archangel copied from Ganshu. Balan swallowed hard. People like you deserve to die. Lan Fei curled his lips and continued, of course, it is not impossible for you to survive. When your injuries recover, return all the cards you snatched to their original owners, then leave this game, and never let us meet again. 2. Otherwise, you will not be so lucky next time. I see. Sabu gritted his teeth. Don't worry, since Ganshu is dead, it doesn't make much sense for us to stay in the game. Balan managed to get out of the ghost gate, so naturally he didn't dare to provoke Lan Fei and the others. Gon, Chiya, you stand beside them. I will use the breath of an archangel to heal your injuries. Lan Fei reminded. Bahrain shouted out his card book with difficulty. Tisk tisk, what a big deal. It's hard to get a copy of 6 cards with the breath of an archangel, let alone the breath of an archangel. There are quite a few cards you have snatched from others. Seeing the densely packed cards in the Bahrain collection card book, Lan Fei couldn't help but smacked his lips. Bahrain has almost collected all the designated pocket cards, only 2 strings of 10 ping coastlines are missing. Moreover, there are quite a few duplicate cards in the Bahrain collection card book. As long as they can get a ping of coastline, Ganshu, Bahrain, and Shabu can clear the customs together. Gain. At this time, Lan Fei took out the aura of the Archangel from Bahrain's collection card book, and then held it up high. Ong. In an instant, the card with the aura of an Archangel turned into a ray of light and rushed directly to the sky, and then transformed into a beautiful and pure white figure. She has long golden hair, a sexy figure, and charming eyebrows, trembling. Excuse me, what's your mission? The stunning beauty overlooks Lan Fei and others below. Tisk tisk, the ability of the spell card is really abnormal, it can conjure such a beautiful woman. Unfortunately, it's illusory. Lan Fei looked up at the stunning beauty transformed by the breath of an archangel, and couldn't help sighing. I want you to heal Gon's hands and body. Before Lan Fei could speak, Chiya spoke first. Okay, then let me heal this man's wound. The voice of the stunning beauty is very pleasant, just like the sounds of nature. I saw her blowing out a breath, covering Gon's figure like a fairy air, and seeing Gon's double-injured hand recover immediately, without any trace of injury, and the breath on his body also recovered in peak condition. Great, I finally recovered, it's amazing. Gon clenched his fists tightly, feeling the abundance of chi in his body, he couldn't help cheering excitedly. Great, Chiya at the side also shouted excitedly. This spell card with the breath of an archangel is amazing. It would be great if it could be brought out of the game. It is a life-saving straw to bring the dead back to life. Bessie sighed. It's a pity that even if the customs clearance is completed, the game rules can only take away the item cards in the designated pockets, not the spell cards. Next is Chiya. Gain. Lan Fei once again drew a spell card with the breath of an archangel. Please help me heal Chiya's injuries. When the archangel breath spell card transformed into a stunning beauty, 3.5 Lan Fei directly opened his mouth and gave the order. After curing Chiya, Lan Fei continued to pull out 2 pieces of archangel's breath from Bahrain, and healed Bahrain and Shabu one after another. Thank you all. We will abide by the agreement, and after we return the item cards we snatched from other people, we will leave the game and will not come back. Of course, we will also give you those rare item cards that we found ourselves. It can be regarded as your repayment for lenient us. Wow. Balin waved his hand, pulled out a lot of rare prop cards from the collection card book, and threw them to Lan Fei. Whoosh. A moment later, Bahrain and Shabu directly used the companion card, and the two of them turned into a golden light and soared into the sky, disappearing into the sky. Since then, the adventures of Lan Fei and his party on the Island of Greed have almost come to an end. Chapter 127 Card No. 0. The final answering contest open black lens bracket subscription close black lens bracket. Now there is the last number 0 card left. After getting the rare cards presented by Bahrain and Shabu, Lan Fei began to rearrange all the cards in the designated pockets. Well, I just want to play the last one and pass the level. Gon stared at Lan Fei's card book expectantly. In his opinion, it would be nice if Lan Fei could clear the level first. After all, the three of them are a group, and if Lan Fei cleared the level, it meant that he and HxH had also cleared the level. There is only the last one left. We must be the pair that clears the customs the fastest. HxH nodded. For Lan Fei to pass the level first, he is not jealous at all, because the three of them are a group, and HxH is not interested in the rewards for passing. All he wants is to accompany Gon and Lan Fei in this game, just have fun. 1, 2, 97, 98, 99. 10 minutes later, Lan Fei arranged all the cards in the designated pockets into fixed positions, and then took a deep breath slowly. Ding dong. At this moment, an intelligent voice came out from Lan Fei's 05 episode card book. Here, I would like to inform all players in the game that just now a certain player has collected all 99 types of cards in the designated pocket. In order to commemorate this historic moment, it is expected that a quiz contest will be held in 10 weeks that all players in Greed Island can participate in. There are a total of 100 questions, all related to designated pocket cards, and the one with the highest correct answer rate the player. We will present the designated pocket card number 0 with the blessing of the ruler. Please do not close your card collection book, wait a moment. In an instant, this news spread to every corner of Greed Island through everyone's card book. Even members of Phantom Troupe and even Hisoka knew about it, and tens of thousands of players were eager to try it now. After all, the number 0 card is even rarer than the number 2 card, and it will only appear if a certain player gathers cards 1 to 99. Who would not cherish such an opportunity? The news got out. Gon frowned. Isn't it obvious that people will come to snatch it? HxH also became worried. As long as the player uses the snooping card, they can know who has gathered the cards numbered 1 to 99. At that time, won't many players use the peer card to grab it? Hey, get ready for battle, skimmer. Bai Siji shook her head helplessly. Once someone robbed her at the last moment, everything would be in vain. It's all related to the designated pocket card. Lan Fei listened to the voice from the card book with great interest. I guess those questions will probably be set as questions that players who grab cards can't answer. Why? HxH reminded. Aft. Suddenly, at this moment, streaks of golden light shot towards Lan Fei from all directions in the distant sky. Coming. Gon's expression changed drastically. There are also here, and there are everywhere. HxH immediately became vigilant. At this last moment, they must not be allowed to succeed. Bai Siji took a deep breath. She had already made up her mind. If it was a last resort, she would not mind turning full firepower and transforming into her peak state. After all, she has integrated into the Lan Fei group now. It doesn't matter whether she can pass the level or not. She just expects that Lan Fei can pass the level and witness the most historic moment. Rumble. In a short while, the golden light hit the ground heavily, the lawn shook, and strange figures appeared one after another. Don't worry, I'm not here to hinder you. At this moment, a tall man walked towards Lan Fei and the others calmly, without any hostility. Don't be so tense, relax. We are here to assist you. The short man next to the tall man also spoke. Assist us. Gon slowly let his guard down. It's okay, they're not bad people. Lan Fei said lightly. Although much of the plot of Greed Island is vague, Lan Fei's impression of the final moments is still a bit deep. Yes, here to assist you. If in the end we get the highest score in answering the questions and get the number 0 card, I hope you can buy it for 2.5 billion. For you, this is only 5% of the reward for breaking the level. 11. Should be acceptable. The tall man walked slowly to Gon's side. 5%. Gon turned to look at Lan Fei. Lan Fei didn't speak, just nodded to Gon. Okay, we can talk about it after we get the card. HxH nodded and answered first. But what about the others? Lan Fei shrugged. Azila, B Zeta, C Zisuo, D Zayu, E Zima. Bisky glanced at the others. Seeing Gon fight with HxH, Bai Siji couldn't help feeling envious. These 3 kids have just experienced a deathmatch, but now they can deal with the final exam questions before they pass the level so easily. Obviously, they are the happiest people in this game. Gon put all his worries behind him and began to compete with HxH. Lan Fei is not afraid of these people 43's attack, unless he encounters a perverted existence like Leza, otherwise, he doesn't need to worry too much. After all, it's the end of the game, and of course they also hope to get a little out of the reward. HxH squeezed her chin, and instantly thought of a fun way. Then, from now on, I will start to read the questions in order. All players are asked to be ready to answer the questions. Okay, let's answer our own questions next. Question 1. the name of the elder who will give you a big reminder about the number 1 card, 1 ping dense forest, is. Do you think the same as you? The person with the lowest score at the end will be punished. You have to work hard until the end. I don't care. 10 minutes later, the intelligent voice of the NPC in the Greedy Island game began to come out from the card collection books of all players. Very well, that's it. Chapter 128. The Blessing of the Ruler. News from Jin Fujili open black lens bracket subscription close black lens bracket. What the hell, it was an inexplicable one of 5 topic at the beginning. Hearing the voice of intelligence, even Chi-Ya, who is quick-witted, can't help but shake his head, feeling a headache. On the other hand, Lan Fei and Gon were very calm and were answering the question seriously. The second question. Question 17. Card number 17 is the breath of an archangel. The condition for obtaining this card is. As time goes by, the questions become faster and easier, but anyone who knows the cards in the designated pockets should be able to answer them. What is the type of calendar contest that uses card number 84 and the jewelry of the paladin as the advent? A. Finger guessing. B. Tug of war. C. Throwing snowballs. D. Kicking jars. The following topics are almost all personally experienced, and they are too simple. After answering question 84, Lan Fei had a feeling that these questions were arranged deliberately according to his itinerary after entering the game. I had learned about the calendar competition in the reward city of Andonibal back then, so I knew its types clearly. Gon, this guy is so serious about answering the questions, but Chi-Ya, he can't answer the questions after getting his head shot. Lan Fei glanced at Gon and Chi-Ya. Although Chi-Ya's personality was calm, he was still a little worse than Gon in terms of seriousness. Next, the last question. 10 minutes later, a slightly excited voice from the NPC in the game came from Lan Fei. What is the name of card number? 0. A ruler's feast, B. Ruler's power, C. Ruler's hospitality, D. Ruler's welcome, blessing of the ruler of E. Isn't this too simple? Lan Fei shook his head and chose E directly. Which one is it? Chi-Ya still has a big face. And BCG on the side also sighed. She answered almost all of the 100 questions in confusion, and she didn't think about it carefully at all. Okay, done. Gon smiled, then raised his head to look at Lan Fei. Lan Fei, how is your answer? So. Lan Fei shrugged. After answering the questions, then we will announce the player with the highest score for everyone. The voice of the NPC in the game spreads to every corner of Greed Island through all the players. They are very curious about who will get the highest score and get the designated card with the highest difficulty. The full score is 100 points, and the highest score is 98 points. The player's name is Lan Fei Player. Soon, the identity of the highest scoring answerer was revealed. Lan Fei. Gon was startled, and then exclaimed excitedly, yeah, that's great, Lan Fei, you're amazing. Gon raised his hands high, bouncing towards Lan Fei. Hey, I knew I would give it to Gon. However, strength does not allow it. Facing the little unexpected hug, Lan Fei could only smile wryly and shook his head. Great, Lan Fei, great job. We were the first team to collect 100 designated cards. Chi-Ya also rushed over and hugged Lan Fei, not to mention how excited she was. Only one of the 100 questions was answered incorrectly. This guy, who usually does not seem to be such a careful person, did not expect to know all the cards in the designated pocket like the back of his hand. Bai Siji took a deep look at Lan Fei. Great, although I feel unwilling, but I am not congratulating you. At this time, the tall man walked up to Lan Fei and waved congratulations. Thank you all. Gon nodded. By the way, according to the agreement, Chi-Ya, you will be punished. As if thinking of something, Gon turned his head to look at Chi-Ya. How do you know that my grades are lower than yours? Chi-Ya curled her lips pretending to be angry. Damn it, how many points did I get? Gon is 87 points, your score should be lower than Gon. Don't deny it, Gon's talent is much higher than yours in this respect. Lan Fei patted Chi-Ya on the shoulder. You two perverted brothers. Chi-Ya shook her head helplessly. Yo. Suddenly, an eagle cry came from the endless sky, and an owl flapped its wings and flew towards, holding an envelope in its sharp talons. When it flew over Lan Fei's head, the envelope was slowly dropped by it and fell into the sky. In the hands of Lan Fei. This is. Gon at the side stared curiously at the envelope in Lan Fei's hand. Sent by the owl. Is it the number 0 card? Chi-Ya also looked puzzled. Blessing from the ruler. Lan Fei slowly opened the envelope, and there was a designated card. It seems that only people with the badge attached to the letter can enter a town called Satomi Road. At this time, Bisji also came over. A small town on Rimi Road. Lan Fei frowned. Is it really only possible to go alone? I really want to be with Lan Fei, and take a look at this small town that can only be visited by clearing customs. Quote. Gon was a little disappointed. Gon, don't forget that we are one team, and Lan Fei is the one who contributes the most. Who told you to lose to Lan Fei in the final quiz competition? We'll just wait for him near Rimi Road. Chi-Ya blinked at Gon. Boom. Suddenly, just as everyone was extremely happy because they got the number 0 designated card, a golden light broke through the sky from far away in the sky, and finally landed heavily on the endless lawn. At the same time, 2 figures came out from the golden light. One is a man with curly hair and dark skin. Gon turned to face Lan Fei and held up the companion card in his hand. Chi-Ya and Gon looked at each other, and their figures suddenly disappeared in place. The short man stared at Lan Fei fiercely. Little devil, let's compete with all the cards we gamble. Sorry, you can't refuse this. Wu Nuos. Bang bang. Xia winked at Lan Fei. In just 2 moves, Xia and Lan Fei put these 2 overwhelmed guys to the ground. Lan Fei slowly handed the number 0 card and the ruler's blessing to Gon. Well, it's time to go to the final location. Okay, I got a companion card from them. I also got a rafting card. One was a short, fang-toothed man. Lan Fei was stunned. Don't they know that the bomb demon Ganshu was defeated by our team? Jia. Really? At this last moment, there are still people coming to rob. That kid really collected all the cards. The dark-skinned man laughed. Gon, I will give you this number 0 designated card. After all, it is very important to you. Maybe you can find news about Jin Fujili on Raimai Road. Where's the clown? Chapter 129 Gon's Choice. Take away 3 designated cards. Open black lens bracket subscription. Close black lens bracket. Give it to me. Hearing Lan Fei's words, Gon couldn't help but widen his eyes. Well, with this card, you can enter the small town of Raimai Road, where there should be news about Jin Fujili, and doing so will not affect our customs clearance. Lan Fei nodded and continued. I also handed over all the cards in my card book to you, and when you come out of Raimai Road town, we will almost leave Greed Island. After speaking, Lan Fei handed over all the cards in the designated pocket in the card book to Gon, which were the numbers 1 to 99 that Lan Fei had collected before. Lan Fei, thank you. Gon gritted his teeth. Remember, we are brothers who have played since childhood. Lan Fei patted Gon on the shoulder. Gold. Gon took a deep breath. The reason why he entered the game was to find news about Jin and to track down Jin's figure. Lan Fei, Gon, we have never been to Raimai Road, so we can only use this rafting card first, and I will come back to pick you up when I arrive in the small town of Raimai Road. Xia reminded. Well, let's do it. This way you can use piers. Lan Fei nodded. Use drift. 587 Xia directly raised the beautiful card in his hand high, and then his figure turned into a ray of light soaring into the sky and disappeared into the sky. Phew. This is it. Xia's figure descended from the sky and landed outside the gate of Laimailu town. Use rewind. Xia took out a rewind card from the card book, and returned to Gon and Lan Fei again. Lan Fei, Gon, I have found Laimailu town. Now you can use the companion card, we have to go. Xia took the accompanying card from Gon's hand. Use your peers, Satomi. Boom. In an instant, the 4 of them were surrounded by golden light, and then they rushed to the sky and disappeared into the sky. They are really strong. Solved the Belamu brothers in 2 or 3 strokes, grabbed the rafting card and pressed with the peers. Does that matter? They defeated the bomb demon. Watching the 4 of Lan Fei leave, many players gathered here couldn't help sighing. Indeed, these 2 brats have become a lot stronger than when they first entered the game. But, it doesn't matter, the rewards for clearing the game will be left, AFA, to you. Use magnetism, Krollo Lucifer. I want you to go back to the real world 1 step earlier, and earn a lot of money. At this time, a man who was tightly wrapped up slowly raised the spell card in his hand, and his figure turned into a ray of light and disappeared into the sky. He is the only demise master Yabangana in the game. Lime Road Town, outside the most luxurious castle. At this moment, Lan Fei, Xia, and Bai Siji were squatting on the steps. I don't know how Gon is feeling right now. Bisky looked up at Gon who was walking towards the castle gate. What's the meaning? Xia asked. In this castle, there should be news about Jin. Gon, you should be very happy. Lan Fei said lightly. As a brother, Lan Fei naturally has to take care of Gon, so he gave the number 0 card to Gon, letting him come here to find news about Jin. Gold, after all, is Gon's spiritual yearning and the reason Gon entered the Isle of Greed. Exclamation mark comma 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 comma. Not long after, when Gon walked to the main gate of the castle, the gate slowly opened, and a boy with yellow hair in a suit appeared in front of Gon. Welcome to the island city of Greed. Come in. The yellow-haired boy led Gon into the main hall of the castle. Is this really a castle? Such a luxurious place, but it's so messy. As soon as he walked into the hall, Gon was choked by a smell of mess. This is the Gon who received the ruler's blessing from card 0. Although it is presented by Lan Fei, who has the highest score, whoever owns this card can enter this castle. The blonde-haired boy looked at a man in red clothes with messy hair in the hall. Gon, I've been waiting for you for a long time. You are Kim's son, right? Come here, let's sit and talk. With a cigarette in his mouth, the man waved at Gon. It's such a mess here, where should I sit? Gon had black lines all over his face. Is there no space? Clear this place, just sit on the ground. The man pushed all the garbage beside him to the other side, and then began to rummage for something. Gon was also polite, and sat down in front of the man. Forget it, I can't find it. By the way, my name is Duan. The man turned around slowly, staring at Gon with a smile on his face. By the way, you have received the blessing of the ruler from card number 0. Don't you think that Jin is the ruler? Duan grinned. No, I don't think Kim will be in the city at all. Before, Leza said that Jin is not in the game at all. Gon curled his lips. Brother Duan, can you get back to the topic? At this time, the yellow-haired boy at the side couldn't stand it anymore, and quickly reminded him. Okay, Gon, listen up. Getting the designated card number 0 is equivalent to getting all 100 cards in the designated pocket. At the same time, it also triggers another event. Duan turned around and pulled out a purple collection card book. Gold. Oh, as expected of Jin's son. Gone. Don't listen to his nonsense. There are no personal endings in the game, just general endings that are the same for everyone. My personal ending. Someone explained it. Duan nodded, giving Gon a higher opinion. Fortunately, Lan Fei gave me cards numbered 1 to 99 before. This card collection allows you to put cards in 3 designated pockets, and these 3 cards can be used directly in the real world. Of course, only 1 card of the same number can be taken away, and what you can take away is limited to 3 of the 100 designated pocket cards in your collection card book. Duan reminded. Next, there is a gratifying happy ending. The ending of ordinary people are your personal ending. Which one do you choose? Gon's eyes lit up and he became excited instantly. The yellow-haired boy on the side reminded. However, after someone tells you to break through, some things can be told to you. Duan asked. That's it, you open it and have a look. Partners are the most important thing in the game. Gon secretly said. Gon was stunned. I choose the normal ending. After all, this is the honor of everyone in our team, not mine. Chapter 130 Traveling Card, Jin's Disciple Kate open black lens bracket subscription close black lens bracket. Well, there's something about us, and something about Jin. It's been so long since you've been at the castle, and we haven't introduced ourselves to you yet. My name is Li Sight, and his name is Duan. The blonde-haired boy looked at Gon, and spoke unhurriedly. Although I guess you should also know that we are friends of your father Kim Fujili. This game was co-produced by Jin and 11 of his companions. The name of the game GREEDISLAND is made up of the first letters of the names of all the developers. Your father is the highest person in charge of the production of this game, so the beginning of the game is G. It's him. You should have seen Leza too, right? He is R, and I am L. The woman responsible for explaining at the beginning of the game and the woman staying at the port, they are twins Ada and Elena, and their names start with E. Quote. Li Sight explained. Although the next letter is the letter D, I can tell you clearly that this guy Jin is really abominable and super excessive. My name is Duan. What do you think the initial letter is? Duan said to Gon with an excited face. Isn't it D? Gon asked. Even you say that. As expected, there is such a father as there is such a son. Duan patted his forehead. My letter is W, WDWUNE Duan, pronounced Duan. However, even my old friend thought that the letter should be D, so when I decided on the name, I told him that my name starts with W. W took it away, and said that my name will be DWUNE in the future. This guy actually changed my name without authorization, and all this is just to meet the needs of the game name. The more Duan talked, the more excited he became, and he wished to whip Jin Fujili. This scene made Gon feel dumbfounded. The chat between the 3 of them quickly came to night as time passed. Boom. Bang bang bang. Over the small town of Limai Road, fireworks lit up the entire night sky, and countless people gathered around the square of the town, cheering and celebrating this historic and unprecedented moment. Lan Fei, Gon, Xiya, and Bisji took a sightseeing car, and with the cheers and support of countless townspeople, they started the customs clearance parade. After the parade, is the grandest banquet. It can be said that this is the most sumptuous meal Lan Fei has ever eaten in the world of Hunter. The food and dance here are impeccable. As for Jin Fuli, Lan Fei really admires him, not only because he has super strength, but also has super charisma. This night, the fireworks over the castle kept going, and this night was destined to be a sleepless night. Okay, enough to eat and drink, and enough to play. Next, which 3 cards do you want to choose? Xiya sat cross-legged in a side bedroom of the castle. By the way, Gon, you should have heard a lot about your father, right? Bisaki asked. Well, I heard a lot. Now, I want to find him earlier, ask him some things, and see what he looks like with my own eyes. I've grown up so much, I haven't seen him. Besides, although they heard some things, they, like Leza, don't know where Jin is now. Gon nodded. Well, it seems that there is no line about him in this game. Bessie shook her head. Actually, everything was already explained in his initial message. Lan Fei glanced at Gon helplessly. This guy is a muscle. So, which 3 cards are you going to choose next? Bisji looked at Lan Fei. It depends on yourselves. Anyway, even if these cards are taken out, they are useless to me. Lan Fei shrugged. Since Lan Fei doesn't choose, let the 3 of us choose one. Xiya suggested. Okay, Japanese choose one. Bisji nodded excitedly. If Lan Fei also chose, maybe she herself would have no chance. Now, Lan Fei doesn't need it, so it just happens that 3 of them choose one. I choose the blue planet. Sure enough, this is the best one. I really want to see the entity of the blue planet soon. As a 2-star gem hunter, Bisky has a soft spot for gems, so the blue planet is her first choice of cards. Diamond gemstones are always a woman's favorite. Seeing that BCG chose the blue planet, Lan Fei couldn't help but smiled wryly. I have chosen, Xiya, which one do you want to choose? Bai Siji turned her head to look at Xiya. Well, it makes me think. 0. Asking for flowers. Xiya looked at Gon at the side. Gon, have you chosen yet? I've made up my mind. Gon nodded. Really, which one? Xiya became interested instantly. Let me see. Gon slowly opened the collection card book, pointed to one of the designated pockets, just this one. Why this one? Bai Siji was startled. Your brain. Lan Fei gave Bai Siji a blank look. The muscular ant really has a bad brain. I see. Gon, when did you think of it? Chia stared at Gon. I thought of it when I saw this designated card. Gon grinned. But it's not enough to just wear this paladin's jewelry. Lan Fei reminded. Well, I still need this mimic card. Gon slowly drew a spell card. It's okay. If a weak country wants to use that paladin's jewelry, they can only choose this one. Chia nodded. It's okay. Anyway, you have already chosen the blue planet. However, the conversation between the three of them left Bischi on the side in a daze. But, even if you get the travel card, how do you find Jin? You don't have to worry about this, Gon has already thought of it, otherwise it would be impossible to insist on keeping these two cards. Your brains are really good things. Lan Fei said lightly. At that time, the accompanying card will be valid. Lan Fei smiled. You three little devils, can't you let me participate in your topic? Seemingly thinking of something, Bischi asked. After all, even if it is a companion card, there are restrictions. With the accompanying card, you can find gold. Bai Siji sighed helplessly, she couldn't think of such a way for a while. First of all, you can use the spell card mimicry to change your companion into a card in a designated pocket, and then use the paladin's jewelry to restore it to its original state after the game is out. In his memory, Gon found not Jin with the companion card, but Jin's disciple Kate. I see. Lan Fei stared at Bischi with a half smile. Bai Siji gave Lan Fei a hard look. Chapter 131 Kurapika's Prophetic Poem, The King of Ants chapter opens open black lens bracket subscription close black lens bracket. Bischi, the reason for this will be explained to you after we leave the game. Seeing the doubts on Bischi's face, Gon couldn't help reminding. Let's talk now, hurry up, let me blend into your chat. Bischi winked at Gon. I don't want it. Gon stuck out his tongue and made a grimace at Chaobi. You brat. Seeing this, Bai Siji was instantly annoyed, and pretended to be very angry. Okay, let's go back to the plane where we just entered the game at dawn tomorrow. At this time, Lan Fei gave Bai Siji a hard look. The next day. The endless plain, inside the initial hut. The four of Lan Fei met Elena again when they first entered the game. Congratulations, the game is over. Then next, please select 3 cards from the designated pocket of the card book, 867. Elena looked at Gon. I've chosen. Gon nodded, having already prepared the selected cards. The card you chose is card number 2 Yiping Coastline, number 81 Blue Planet, and no. 84 Paladin's Hand Jewelry. Then, I will return this ring to you, and I have worked hard for you all this way. After a pause, Elena returned the ring to Gon. Thank you. Gon bowed deeply. The journey to the Isle of Greed is finally over. Staring at the ring in Gon's hand, Lan Fei couldn't help but take a deep breath. Then, goodbye for. A sweet smile appeared on Elena's face. In an instant, the four of Lan Fei disappeared directly into the initial hut. Ukexan City, inside the villa of the Nasra family estate. Nyan Nasra is chatting with Kurapika at the moment. Suddenly, Kurapika's face changed drastically, and a stream of bright red blood spurted out of his mouth. Kurapika, what's wrong with you? Seeing this, Nyan Nasra was taken aback. How is this possible? Kurapika's eyes widened, and Nyan Nasra on the side was directly ignored by him, the mind left in Krollo's body has disappeared. Damn it, how did he do that? Can't restrain Krollo, his strength must have recovered. Kurapika gritted his teeth, and the moment the thoughts left in Krollo's body disappeared, he was also backlashed. Miss Nyan, don't worry, I'm fine. Kurapika wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth, his face turned pale. By the way, Miss Nyan, shall I lie down? Diary. Okay. Nyan Nasra nodded. Soon, Kurapika reported his date of birth and blood type. Let's go. Nyan Nasra took a deep breath, and scribbled down a few lines of prophecy poems on the white paper where Kurapika left her birth date and blood type. It's done. In the blink of an eye, Nyan Nasra handed the written prophecy poem to Kurapika. The spider's head flickered, and it appeared in Li Ming's eyes. The direction to the east was his peak. The sound of ants overflows from the bottom of the knight's heart bit by bit, and the fiery red eyes will be swallowed by the darkness. At that moment, the pioneers of human beings will eventually lose their breath. While silently reading the prophecy poem on the white paper, Kurapika couldn't help frowning. Wow. Suddenly, just as Kurapika frowned at his prophecy poem, 4 figures of Lan Fei appeared out of thin air. Alright, finally back to the real world. Gon exclaimed with excitement. This is where. Bai Siji was a little puzzled, and looked around curiously. The game is a corner of the real world. We're just going back from there to where we started. Chia rubbed her forehead. Sister Nyan. Lan Fei grinned and walked towards Nyan Nasra. Smelly brother, you can be regarded as coming out of the game. You don't even know how boring I am these days when you're not here. Seeing Lan Fei returning to the real world from the game, Nyan Nasra's beautiful eyes suddenly lit up, and she caught Lan Fei excitedly and stood up. Sister Niwing, you have bad breath. Lan Fei joked while enjoying it. You brat. HMPH, I'm ignoring you. Nyan Nasra pretended to be very angry. Hee hee, I'm just joking with you, Sister Niwing is the best. Lan Fei hugged Nyan Nasra tightly, enjoying the fragrance on her body. Kurapika. At this time, Gon ran to Kurapika with a full face of excitement. You guys are back, Kurapika said with a wry smile, he has been here for several days. Kurapika, are you hurt? Careful Chia noticed the blood and complexion at the corner of Kurapika's mouth. I'm fine. Kurapika shook his head. Smelly brother, just 3 minutes before you returned to reality from the game, Kurapika vomited blood. Nyan Nasra explained. Vomit blood. Kurapika, what's going on? Lan Fei slowly pushed Nyan Nasra's arms away, staring at Kurapika with a serious face. Lan Fei knew Kurapika's strength, and it was obviously not easy to make him vomit blood. The thought that I stayed in Krollo disappeared, and it was naturally backfired. Kurapika originally wanted to hide it, but since Nyan Nasra had already spoken it out first, she might as well say it. What? Hearing Kurapika's words, Gon and Chi-Ya looked at each other, seeing shock in each other's eyes. It seems that Hisoka really found the nemesis teacher. Lan Fei said lightly. The mind teacher. Kurapika looked at Lan Fei suspiciously. Exorcist, as the name suggests, can get rid of the attitudes that have been planted in others. Presumably, Krollo should have regained its strength by now. Lan Fei explained. It's no wonder I'm backlashed, no wonder what I left on Krollo disappears. Nianshi, it seems that the hatred between me and the Phantom Brigade 2.7 will not be completely settled for a while. Kurapika took a deep breath, and then threw the prophecy poem in his hand to Lan Fei. Help me see, this is what Ms. Niang told me just now. I still can't understand the content of the prophecy poem. A prophetic poem. Lan Fei nodded and took a closer look. The spider's head flickered, and it appeared in the eyes of dawn. The direction to the east was his peak. The sound of ants came from the bottom of the night. If it overflows, the fiery red eyes will be swallowed by darkness, and at that moment, the king of mankind will eventually lose his breath. Okay. Soon. Lan Fei frowned. Spider's head. It should be Krollo, who went east all the way and finally achieved his peak strength. Ants. The king of mankind will eventually lose his breath. Could it be the Ant King and President Tero? Lan Fei's eyes widened suddenly. Chapter 132 Use Peers. The first meeting with Kate. Open black lens bracket subscription close black lens bracket. As the Ant King chapter going to start? Will the red eye be swallowed by darkness? The human king will eventually lose his breath. East is Krollo's peak direction. Lan Fei carefully pondered Kurapika's prophetic poems, and then connected his own prophetic poems with Kurapika's prophetic poems. The spider will come back to the world with a lot of mourning, turning the world around. The existence of souls from another world needs the initiation of the blood moon. Don't worry, what belongs to you will be regained with your hands. Buy time, because there is not much time. Now, more terrifying enemies are about to move. Your decision is very important. Don't worry, even if bad luck comes to this world, it still can't shake your incomparable noble status. What you need to do is to subdue all the gods of death to surround you, glory and oblivion, all of which need your help. 10 choices. Spiders will come back to the world with a lot of grief. Could it be that this is the peak of Krollo? Red Eye will be swallowed by darkness. How can that be explained? Even if bad luck befalls the world, it will still not be able to shake your incomparably noble status. Could it be related to the fact that the human O5 king will eventually lose his breath? President Tero died in battle, and he will become the strongest human in the new generation. That's the only way to explain it. Glory and oblivion, you need to choose by yourself. It's just that what you need to do is to subdue all the gods of death to surround you. How do you explain it? Could it be that after the flames are swallowed by the darkness, all of them will turn black and become gods of death? Lan Fei shook his head. The more he pondered, the more vague the answer became. If it has reached the point where it is unavoidable, we can only take one step at a time. Seeing Lan Fei lost in thought, Kurapika reminded. Your prophetic poem, I can't explain it either. Lan Fei came back to his senses, shook his head and gave a wry smile. It seems that we can only take one step at a time. The grievances between me and Phantom Troupe may only be completely resolved by following the footsteps of the spider all the way east. Kurapika took a deep breath and looked up at Bischi. Congratulations, the game has been cleared. Next, what are your plans? By the way, this is... Hi, I'm Lan Fei's friend, my name is Bischi. Bischi introduced herself. My name is Kurapika. Kurapika nodded. Gone, hurry up and call out the collection card book, I can't wait. I'll leave when I get the diamonds. Bischi looked at Gon expectantly. Gon raised his hand, and the collection card book appeared out of thin air, and then fell into his palm. Gain. Bischi couldn't bear the excitement in her heart, and directly grabbed the blue planet card. Boom. In an instant, the card turned into a beautiful and flawless blue gemstone. Ha ha ha, this is it, this is what I want. The blue planet that I dreamed of even in my sleep, I am so happy. Bai Siji's eyes were full of light, carefully looking at the blue gemstone in her hand, and she seemed very excited. As a 2-star gem hunter, her hobby is to find all kinds of rare gems, and the blue planet in the island of greed has naturally become her goal. If she hadn't been thick-skinned and got into Lan Fei's team, it would have been very difficult for BCG to get the blue planet. Therefore, she should be most grateful to Lan Fei. Bischi, you owe me a huge favor. Seeing that Bai Siji was so excited, Lan Fei reminded her. Don't worry, if there is a place for me in the future, no matter where you are, I will rush there as soon as possible. Bai Siji calmed down slowly, and stared at Lan Fei with a serious face. With your words, it is enough. Lan Fei nodded. Okay, it's time to say goodbye to you, I am really happy to meet you in the game. Thank you very much for helping me get the blue planet. We, see you by fate. Bischi bowed deeply to Lan Fei, Gon, and Chi-Ya, then turned and left the Nasra family manor. See you soon. Gon waved at Bischi. Goodbye. Chi-Ya nodded. Lan Fei, What are your plans next? Asked Kurapika. Brother Stinky, I want to go on an adventure with you too. Nyan Nasra on the side interjected weakly. No. Sister Niwing, your strength is too weak. If you stay by your side, you will implicate us. Lan Fei stuck out his tongue and made a face at Nyan Nasra. Quote. HMPH, I'm ignoring you. Seeing Lan Fei's refusal, Nyan Nasra pouted, looking very angry. Sister Niwing, I'm doing this for your safety. It would be nice for you to stay in Ukexan City with peace of mind. When I come back next time, I will definitely take you out to play, and I won't run around anymore. Lan Fei blinked. Smelly brother, you said the same thing last time, I don't want a third time. Otherwise, Nyan Nasra glared at Lan Fei fiercely, and his eyes fell on a certain part of Lan Fei. Quote. In an instant, Lan Fei felt a chill in his heart. It's not that Lan Fei doesn't want to take Nyan Nasra with him. Now that the Ant King chapter has started, although he is strong, he can't protect so many people. Moreover, Nyan Nasra only has the ability of divination, but not the strength of fighting, so it is a burden to carry with her. Gain. At this moment, Gon held up a piece of Paladin's jewelry, and then the card became a prop, turned into a necklace jewelry wrapped around Gon's neck. Shiya, give me your money. Gon carefully took the ping of coastline from Shiya's hand. The necklace around his neck suddenly emitted a light, and the piece of coastline in his hand turned into a travel card. Very good, it worked. Gon was very excited. 340 inches awesome. Shiya gave a thumbs up directly. With the companion card, we can find Kate now. Lan Fei thought to himself. According to the rules of the game, the spell card is not a card in the designated pocket, and cannot be brought out from the Island of Greed. However, Gon used the spell card imitation to turn the companion card into a card in the designated pocket, which can bring out the Island of Greed. Then, use the Paladin's jewelry to restore the mimicked companion card to its original state, so that it can be used even after leaving the Island of Greed. Lan Fei, Kurapika, Shiya, let's go. Gon took a deep breath. Use Piers, Nico. Exclamation mark. In an instant, a golden light enveloped the four of Lan Fei, and then flew out of the Nosla family's manor castle and disappeared into the sky. Somewhere in the forest. Here, the fog filled the air and the visibility was very low. Boom. A ray of golden light broke through the sky and smashed heavily into the forest. It was the figures of Lan Fei and the four of them. Well, where is this? Kurapika frowned, looking around warily. This is. Suddenly, the young lady and Shiya stared in shock at a blurred figure of the author under a huge cherry blossom tree in front of them. King's disciple Kate. Although the thick fog filled the air, Lan Fei also noticed this vague figure. Chapter 133 Horrible Chimeric Ants. Kate's Nen open black lens bracket subscription close black lens bracket. Call. At this time, the breeze blew, and a hint of coolness came along with the thick fog, and the cherry blossoms in the sky also fell on the heads and shoulders of Lan Fei and the others with the wind. Under the cherry tree, a man wearing a peaked cap and holding a fishing rod looms in the dense fog. He's Gon's dad. Shiya stared solemnly at the figure under the cherry tree. Gold. Gon took a deep breath and took a step forward. This place is so weird, is that guy really Gon's dad? Kurapika looked around, and finally fell on the figure under the cherry blossom tree. Kate. Lan Fei squinted, folded his arms around his chest, and was the first figure sitting under the cherry blossom tree with great interest. Boom. Suddenly, Gon stepped on a piece of loose soil, and at the same time, the figure sitting under the cherry tree suddenly disappeared in place. In the next second, he appeared in front of Gon. What a speed. Lan Fei's pupils shrank suddenly. I have to admit that Kate's speed is really terrifying, not at the same level as those members of Phantom Troupe. Gon, be careful. Kurapika was taken aback. He didn't notice the change in the loose soil under Gon's feet at the first time, thinking that Kate was going to attack Gon. It's okay, this guy doesn't have the slightest murderous intent or hostility. Lan Fei waved his hand. Boom. At this moment, Kate directly pushed Gon's figure away, and a talking clown appeared out of thin air in his hand, which was his materialized Nen Crazy Clown. As Jin's disciple, Kate's strength is unquestionable, absolutely comparable to the 12 earthly branches. Once Kate activates the ability, a talking clown will appear. When the ability is activated, the roulette in the clown's mouth will roll the number 19, and each number corresponds to a different materialized weapon. Kate herself cannot control which weapon will appear each time. And, the weapon that the Joker draws doesn't disappear if it's not put to good use. This is an ability that even Kate herself finds it troublesome. Another point is that Kate and the crazy clown can communicate verbally. Rain in the mouth, the roulette wheel is spinning, the numbers are from 1 to 9, according to the number shaken out, it changes into a weapon, that's my uncle Crazy Clown. Shake out your good luck. The clown who appeared out of nowhere stuttered, leaving the four of Lan Fei on the side dumbfounded. Hehehehe. In an instant, the numbers from 1 to 9 in the clown's mouth began to scroll, and finally stopped on 4. Exclamation mark. Immediately afterwards, the clown transformed into a weapon in the form of a spear, and the trigger could fire bullets at the muzzle. Hey, I missed the shake again. Kate was very speechless, and directly pointed the spear at Gon. Whispering, use it with gratitude, it's great. The crazy clown said. Bang bang bang. Suddenly, the spear in Kate's hand was fully fired, and his target was not Gon, but the loose soil under Gon's feet. However, Chia didn't know Kate's intention, so she rushed towards Gon. On the contrary, Lan Fei and Kurapika did not make a move, but stared at Kate calmly. From Kate, they didn't feel the slightest murderous intent, and Kate, as Jin's disciple, couldn't possibly kill Gon. After a fierce firepower output, the original loose soil was directly pierced, and a black ant the size of 2 fingers died tragically in front of the eyes of the 4 of them, and traces of strange blue blood flowed out from the ant's body. Ant. Only then did Chia come back to his senses. Really, Nyan Nasra's prophecy poem is really accurate. An even more terrifying enemy is about to move, and the Ant King is about to be born. Lan Fei thought to himself, staring at the ant killed by Kate. You are not injured. At this time, Kate's voice came over, and he walked towards Gon step by step, revealing a pair of extremely deep eyes. He's Gon's dad, Kim. Chia is full of doubts. Exclamation mark. When she walked in front of Gon, Kate directly lifted the coat wrapped around her body, revealing her waist-length silver hair. This person is not Jin. Gon swallowed. What? Chia's expression changed drastically. Who the hell are you? Why did you suddenly push Gon over and shoot Gon with a gun? You can't do it even if you're joking. Are you kidding? Sorry, I mean it. If I hadn't fired a shot, he would have been attacked. Kate stared at Gon calmly. Who attacked you? Except for you, the 4 of us are lifelong partners. Chia said coldly. It's the ant that's going to attack Gon. Lan Fei interjected. That's right, this is not an ordinary ant, but a chimeric ant. Backquote. It is a carnivorous and ferocious insect. The place you were standing just now was directly above their nest. If I hadn't shot, you would have been devoured by swarms of chimeric ants by now. Quote. Kate said coldly. Damn it, because you got in the way, I have to start from scratch again. Even so, the lair has been destroyed, which made me do unnecessary killing again. Kate patted her forehead, then turned and left slowly. This back view, so familiar. Seeing the back of Kate leaving, Gon seemed to think of someone deep in his memory. That's right, he is the one who saved you on Whale Island, your father's disciple Kate. Lan Fei reminded. That's right, it's him. I said why it feels a little familiar, it turned out to be him. Gon was instantly excited. Whale Island. Kate grinned. You guys come with me. Maybe I can still find out about Jin. Well, your dad Kim mentioned it to me. We equals also want to hear about the past of the great disciple Jin. Papa Gon's disciple. Let's go Yun. Chia was also curious. Kate. Gon was taken aback. Kate pressed the peaked cap on her head and walked away step by step. Papa's disciple. Gon stared suddenly. He didn't expect the uncle in front of him to have such a relationship with his father. You know my name. Lan Fei patted Gon on the shoulder and chased after Kate. Hearing Lan Fei's words, Kate stopped slowly. I see, I seem to have a little impression. I didn't expect to meet you in this kind of place. You have grown up a lot, otherwise. Quote. Oh, by the way, let me introduce myself. My name is Kate, and Kim is my teacher. Gon, you must have followed Kim's footsteps to find me. Chapter 134 Lan Fei's Pride. Only the Ant King can challenge open black lens bracket subscription close black lens bracket. Not long after, 5 people gathered around a bonfire. The temperature of the bonfire burned through the mist and moisture that pervaded the surrounding area, making the icy forest a bit warmer. Kate, I want to hear your story with Kim. Gon sat beside Kate, looking at him expectantly. Where do we start with this? Forget it, let's start from the moment I met Jin. Kate stared at the bonfire in front of him, and the raging fire reflected all his memories. Lan Fei, Chia, and Kurapika on the side also listened with gusto. After an hour. By the way, Kate, have you been to the Isle of Greed before? Gon asked curiously. Me. Kate held her chin in thought. Well, have you ever registered under the false name Nico? Gon stared at Kate expectantly. Kim did take me to the Island of Greed, but I forgot if I used a fake name at that time. Kate nodded. You can't be wrong. Jin deliberately gave you the false name of Nagu. Hey, after searching for so long, he finally made a move. Gon shook his head helplessly. Of course, Jin did not do this intentionally. He added such a setting in the game at the beginning of 2017. If Gon uses magnetism, he can reach him. If Gon uses walking, he can reach Kate. Of course, Lan Fei, as a time traveler, should know about such a setting, but Lan Fei's memory of Greed Island has been blurred for a long time, and he can't remember many things, so naturally he can't remind Gon. So that's it. It seems that this game is set up to train you. Kate glanced at the fish bones behind her and couldn't help but smile wryly. The 4 of Lan Fei grilled the fire, grilled the fish, and listened to their own storytelling. This pleasant scene is really rare in this forest. It's not so much as it is Gon. We came here with him. Chia spread her hands. However, I think this may also be Jin's arrangement. Gon winked at Lan Fei. I don't remember gold anymore. I should not be in his arrangement. Lan Fei rolled his eyes at Gon. Impossible. How did he know that we would meet later? Up. Kurapika also dismissed Gon's bold idea. However, meeting me here doesn't seem like a coincidence. No matter how you look at it, it looks like Jin's arrangement. Kate said lightly. Well, I think so too. Meeting you may have been deliberately arranged by Jin, and there should be more meaning hidden in it. Just like letting Leza train Gon, Jin must also let Kate bear some kind of responsibility, which makes Gon and you met here. Chia guessed. Kate, You found Kim in the final test, didn't you? At this time, Lan Fei, who had been silent for a long time, also spoke. Okay. Kate nodded. Perhaps, this is Jin's recognition of you. The hunter of the highest level in the world not only possesses hunting skills, but also possesses hidden strength, but you can still find him, which means that your strength is very strong and you have been recognized by Jin. Lan Fei reminded. Gon, how about I tell you where Mr. Kim is now? Kate thought for a moment before staring at Gon seriously. No need, I will find him personally, relying on my own strength. Gon took a deep breath and continued. Compared to this, I would rather hear more things about Jin from you. Very good, I am very satisfied with your answer. Kate nodded, at the same time, in a certain underground undercurrent cave at the southern end of the Balusa Islands in Ulu, a Fabian continent. It's dark and cold here, and the night is like ink. You can vaguely see a huge ant catching fish with its long tentacles. Beside it, densely packed fish bones are piled up like a mountain. If Lan Fei saw it, he would be shocked. It was a pregnant queen ant. The blood in its stomach is the upcoming new generation of ant kings. Apparently, an unprecedented terrifying situation is coming to an end, and it is quietly unfolding step by step. Not enough. Eat too much of this stuff and never have enough. It's a pity that I can't move now, so I can't be in a hurry. I need to recover my body. You have to heal your body before you can worry about anything else. I have a mission that I have to shoulder. I want to give birth to a king, because I am a queen. While biting the fish, the giant ant bared its teeth and opened its mouth, looking extremely hideous. By the campfire, Gon listened carefully to the story about Jin from Kate's mouth. By the way, have you ever heard of a camping tiger? Kate asked. Camping tiger. Gon looked at Chiya and couldn't help shaking his head. By the way, are there any other magical animals? Lan Fei grinned and tilted his head to look at Kate. Kurapika was also fascinated by this magical tiger. They do use fire. It's amazing. A fire-breathing tiger. Lan Fei said lightly. With his current strength, perhaps only the Ant King or entering the Dark Continent will be challenging. Gon stared at the video in his notebook with excitement on his face. That's right, it is a tiger that can use fire. It uses the trees burned by thunder as kindling. It is the first discovery case other than the bipedal beast of the genus Warcraft. Yes, it is the chimeric ants I encountered before. This kind of ants are terrifying enough to destroy human beings, and even enslave human beings. Lan Fei grinned. Don't talk about camping tigers, I don't know where this is now. Kate took a deep breath before slowly standing up. Kurapika shook his head with a wry smile. That's right, chimeric ants are more terrifying than this kind of tiger that can use fire. It just so happens that I'm also interested in them, so let's join you. It's a dangerous insect that you can't even get close to, and it's my job to investigate them now. Kate slowly opened the laptop she was carrying, and there were photos and videos of tigers who can use fire. Chapter 135 The Ant Queen hunts and kills humans, and the first division chief under her command is born. Open black lens bracket subscription close black lens bracket. Join me. Kate glanced at Lan Fei, Chiya, Gon, and Kurapika. Perhaps, this can also be regarded as an exercise arranged by Jin. By the way, I have other companions. We are a team of 7. Now, let's wait for them to come here. When they arrive, I will introduce you. Although they are still amateurs, they are all excellent hunters. Kate said with a smile. Group of 7. Add the 4 of us, and that's 11. Lan Fei nodded. Not long after, 4 figures not far away slowly walked towards, here. Here they come. Kate turned her head, grinned, and said, Sao Sao Sao. Kate, who are these 4 people? A man with mushroom hair stared at Lan Fei and the others with great interest. They are friends of mine who came to see me on the way. Kate explained. Come to such a remote place on purpose. You are welcome. My name is Spina Chloe, please give me your advice. The red-haired woman introduced. Lan Fei. Lan Fei nodded. My name is Gon, Freecy SS. Gon spoke too. Freecy SS. Spina Crow was slightly startled. Could it be, you are? Yes, he is Mr. Jin's son. Kate smiled. Real or fake? The other 3 also stared at Gon in shock. Aren't you too? Spina Crow looked at Chiya. No, I'm lapping Zoldyck. Chiya shook his head. Zoldyck, the legendary family of assassins. Spina Chloe opened her mouth, not knowing what to say. Do these 2 brats have such a big background? Hello, my name is Kurapika. Kurapika also introduced himself. The 4 of them are all professional hunters, they are your seniors. Kate reminded. It's amazing, I became a professional hunter at such a young age. My name is Wentai Yulas. The burly man opened his mouth slowly, and then took out a small glass bottle from the baggage behind him. Inside the glass bottle was a long sharp claw. Kate, this belongs to chimeric ants, and it should be an ant. The rear claws. The results of the computer identification were 99% consistent. The claws of chimeric ants. Gon was a little curious, carefully staring at the claws in the glass bottle. The size of a human finger. Chiya saw this magical creature for the first time. How big should this kind of ant be? Isn't this too scary? Kurapika felt incredible. The metamorphosis of chimeric ants is far beyond your imagination. Lan Fei reminded, if we are not careful, we may die. Oh, you also know something about chimera ants. Kate looked at Lan Fei. I have a little impression. It is best to get rid of the queen ant before the king ant is born, otherwise, once it is born, it will be a disaster for mankind. Lan Fei nodded. Ant King. Hearing Lan Fei's words, Kate frowned even deeper. By the way, where is Lin and Bo Dong going to? Kate looked at Spina Crow behind her. They seem to be heading south from HxH City, because I heard that the people who picked up the claws of insects lived in small towns by the sea. Spina Crow pinched her chin and said, in that case, let's hurry over. Kate reminded. Soon, a group of 9 people left the forest. In a cold and damp cave. On the rock wall, there are eggs the size of a roulette wheel hanging one by one. These eggs are bright golden, and they are the ones laid by the queen ant. But at this moment, the extremely ugly queen ant was looking up at the eggs she had laid, as if she was waiting for something. Eggs in this area are almost hatching. The queen ant spoke slowly. Gotcha. Suddenly, as soon as the queen ant's words fell, the eggs began to shatter, and each one looked like, the first slowly fell down. 0. Ask for flowers. These creatures are the worker ants produced by the queen ants. Soldiers, be careful. My mission is to give birth to a king. In order to give birth to a stronger king, I must eat more and more valuable solid food. Let's find better food. The queen waved to the newly hatched worker ants and gave the highest order as a queen. Zzz. These worker ants all made a shrill cry before turning around and crawling out of the cave. There's too little space here, too. After seeing the worker ants leave, the queen raised her head, looked at the unhatched eggs, and said to herself, in order to produce a stronger king, and to have a bigger nest, we need to worry about foreign enemies. I can rest my pregnant body, I need stronger soldiers. Not long. A worker ant brought a human child back to the cave. This is delicious, the nutritional value is really high, it is the best food, I need more of this creature. He is the 1st Division Commander Grudo born under the Ant Queen's command. Ordered the Queen Ant. You can actually talk. The Queen Ant was surprised. A worker ant with a human face and a pair of wings on the back slowly stood up and knelt down on one knee facing the queen. The worker ant spoke slowly. The queen tasted the taste of human for the first time, and soon fell in love with it. I will appoint you as the commander of the 1st Division, and lead all the soldiers here to capture the most nutritious creature I ate just now. Yes, Your Majesty. Her Majesty. Grudo nodded, then stood up and flew out of the cave. Suddenly, at this moment, an egg hanging on the rock wall burst open again. Gorudo nodded slowly. This is to be able to hear and carry out Her Majesty's orders verbatim. Well, it's really trustworthy. Gotcha. Behind him, a bunch of ugly worker ants also flapped their wings and flew out of the cave. Finally, a chimeric ant with human genes was born. Chapter 136 is tragic. Hunter has become the hunting target of the Chimera Ant Masters open black lens bracket subscription close black lens bracket. For the disaster of chimeric ants, Lan Fei cannot stop it. Even though he knew that the Ant King was about to be born, Lan Fei's memory of the Ant King chapter was already very vague. Especially the place where the queen ant is hiding now, he also has no way of knowing. Chimera ants, this kind of insatiable carnivorous and ferocious insects listed as the 1st level isolation designated species, once their size grows to more than 2 meters, even humans will die instantly. Therefore, after the birth of the 1st Division commander under the Ant Queen, many humans began to be attacked. 5 days later, other division heads of the queen ant were also born, and more people were poisoned by these chimeric ants. However, those kingdoms with armies also discovered the horror of these chimeric ants, and finally sent troops, and many chimeric ants died tragically at gunpoint. Since then, the war between chimeric ants and humans began, 193. Somewhere in a remote place south of HxH City. This is the border connecting NGL. The 2 big trees over there are the NGL checkpoint and embassy. After Lan Fei and others got out of the car, the driver reminded them. Thank you. As a good old man, Gon waved directly at the driver. Seeing Lan Fei and others walking towards the 2 big trees, the driver couldn't help but smiled wryly. What is there in such a remote place? Really, a group of weird guys. Everyone, be vigilant to me, not only in front of ants, but also don't think that NGL is an environmental protection group like its name, the danger here even I can't take it lightly. Kate reminded. Oh, I see. Gon and the others nodded. But Lan Fei didn't really care. Why did you come to this country? When everyone reached the steps between the 2 big trees, 2 burly figures stood in front of them, they were the staff guarding the border of NGL. After a series of strict screening and searching, only Kate, Lan Fei, Gon, Xiya, and Kurapika were finally able to enter the territory of NGL. Phantoms come to NGL. Soon, the 5 of Lan Fei stepped into this remote and dangerous strange land. Call. The strong wind howled, and a large amount of dust was rolled up, adding a bit of desolation to this remote area. Above the head, flying eagles were circling, seeming to regard the 5 of Lan Fei as prey. It's really strict. No metal, plastic, etc. can be brought in. Lan Fei smacked his lips. Yes, there are so many rules in such a remote place. Xiya was also speechless. There are 10 people in a group, and there are only 5 of us left. Gon shook his head. Fortunately, my chain is the special type Nen, which can make it disappear, otherwise I'm afraid I won't be able to get in if I wear metal. Kurapika smiled wryly. Gon, Lan Fei, Xiya, Kurapika, the hunt is about to begin. Kate took a deep breath, looking at the endless strange wasteland in front of her, feeling a bad premonition in her heart. Okay. Chi-Ya nodded. While it's fraught with danger, it's also extremely challenging. Gon looked very excited, eager to try. This guy, if you see Kate dead, you probably know the danger here. Lan Fei glanced at Gon, sighed secretly, I just don't know if the Ant Queen was born. My memory is too vague, and I can't find the specific location to stop the Mad Queen's actions. Half an hour later, the 5 of them came to a racecourse and rented 5 or 4 horses. In this barren place, only horses are the fastest and most convenient way to travel. However, the cost of renting a horse is quite a lot, a full 12,000 ringgits. However, when Lan Fei and Gon received tens of billions of rewards for customs clearance rewards from the Island of Greed, they are now local tyrants, and the money for renting a horse is not a problem at all. Exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark. Soon, the 5 of them hurried on their way through this remote wasteland. Another hour passed. The 5 found a remote village with few people and few lands, and began to inquire. In the end, there was still no clue. Now, we can only follow the coastline and visit the Big Brother villages one by one. Gon sat on a table, spread a map in his hand, and continued, as long as you don't get any information after all the investigations, it means that the chimeric ants are not in this country. That's assuming those at NGL are telling us the truth. Gon reminded. Yeah, they are wary of us, the 2 people who asked before have been watching us. Lan Fei squinted his eyes. Yeah, on the surface it is said to assist us in language exchanges with special regions and negotiations with undeveloped tribes, but in fact they are here to monitor us. Kurapika nodded. I don't have any hope for the people here. My intuition tells me that the queen must be here. Kate said with a serious face. The other side. The chimera ants who have been growing stronger are no longer under the command and control of the Legion leaders, and they have begun to hunt and kill humans wantonly. Zanjo snorted coldly, spat out a long letter, and continued. Listen well, I will take over this factory Ant Queen, and from today onwards, this is my city. Behind them is the ruler of this country, his name is Xylo, the underground leader of NGL. Puff puff. In the blink of an eye, the last 2 remaining guards also died tragically at the hands of the head of the Queen Ant's division, Yu Yuxuan. Obedient. Zanjo stared at the 2.0 Zai Yiluo who only had madness in his eyes and no fear in his eyes. Before he finished speaking, Yiluo raised the gun in his hand. In such a hurry to die. The news of their tragic death also reached Kate through the bees. In an instant, Zai Luo's head was blown off by Zanjo, and he died miserably on the spot. All of them died tragically at the hands of the powerful worker ants under the command of the chimeric ant master. In a certain cave, 2 guards armed with long guns are on the verge of life and death. On the other side, other people who were originally restricted from entering the NGL territory and separated from Kate, Lan Fei and others were also wiped out at this moment. Puff. What to do, Zakaharu? Finally, they approached the behind-the-scenes ruler of the country NGL. And Xylo is a heinous person. It is he who wants to spread malice to the whole world. The oral anesthetic DD is the beginning of this terrorist act. Damn it, wouldn't it be good to be eaten obediently? Xylo. Chapter 137. The first confrontation between chimeric ants and Nen open black lens bracket subscription close black lens bracket. This is. Kate slowly found the news from the bee that fell on her fingertips. It was a piece of white paper with missing corners, and on the white paper was printed, help, in big bloody characters, and there was a line of small words, the chimeric ant's nest is in the rocky area. Damn it. Kate took a deep breath, looked at Lan Fei and the 4 beside her, the situation is very dangerous, do you decide to go together? Certainly. Don't forget that we are also professional hunters. Lan Fei said lightly, no matter how dangerous the front is, I will follow Kate. Gon's gaze was determined. Me too. I really want to know how terrifying chimeric ants are that can hunt humans. Chi-Ya nodded. Of course I can't hold back. Kurapika grinned. Very good. Excuse me, Miss Translator, we are in a hurry. Seeing that the 4 of Lan Fei were determined to follow her to a more dangerous place to investigate chimeric ants, Kate couldn't help showing admiration, and then looked at the translation lady 05 who was riding a horse behind her. It's too slow to ride a horse. Return to the border to meet other people, and by the way help me contact the Hunter Association, saying that they have discovered a dangerous biological chimera ant, which can destroy human beings. Can destroy human beings. Hearing Kate's words, the translator was taken aback. Okay, I'll leave it up to you to deal with the Hunter Association. We're running out of time. Kate jumped, fell off the horse, and told the translator behind her. Kate, be careful. The translator nodded deeply. Drive. Soon, she turned around and rushed towards the border without stopping. Okay, you 4 must keep up. Don't blame me for not reminding you. Kate took a deep breath. Go. Boom. In an instant, the 5 of them turned into a gust of wind and disappeared in this wasteland. Wherever the afterimages passed, endless sand, stones and dust could be rolled up. The direction in which they disappeared was exactly the direction in which Kate's companions died. After an hour, NGL territory, in a certain forest. This is the place where the female companion who delivered the news died. On the ground, there was a pool of blood that had just dried up. All around, the smell of blood is everywhere. Obviously, an hour ago, an unprecedented battle took place here. Huh, is this, bullet casings? At this time, the careful Chi-Ya knelt down and picked up a bullet casing. Doesn't it mean that mechanical appliances cannot be brought into the territory of NGL? Lan Fei frowned. The underground rulers here not only make drugs, but also make guns. Kate said lightly. But, the blood here. Gon stopped talking. They should all have been killed by chimeric ants. Kurapika stared solemnly at the pool of blood in front of him. That's right. It shouldn't be done by humans. If those chimeric ants have learned to use guns, although I don't want to imagine it, the underground rulers here should have become the queen's delicacy. What would happen if the queen ants gave birth to chimeric ants with their genes? The combination of NGL and chimeric ants is the scariest combination I can imagine. Kate took a deep breath. He had a faint feeling that this trip might be in danger of death. Let's go. We must find the nest of the queen ant as soon as possible, and then kill it, otherwise once the king is born, it will be a disaster for us humans. Kate's figure flickered, and continued to inspect every rocky area. Now, all he can do is rummage through the carpet. The interior of NGL is probably already occupied by chimera ants. Lan Fei followed behind Kate and reminded. Well, we can now think of the NGL interior as having been overwhelmed by chimera ants. The question now is whether we can find nests to stop it before the queen produces a queen. Kate nodded. Whoosh whoosh. Behind him, Gon, Chiya, and Kurapika also followed. The other side. Inside the queen ant's nest. After tasting the human beings with Nen, the queen ants became more greedy for this kind of delicacy. Nen people are fundamentally different from ordinary people. Nen has super life energy, his nutrition far exceeds that of ordinary people, and is more suitable for the absorption of children in the queen ant's stomach. For the sake of the child in my stomach, I still need more and better nutrition. Order, starting from today, 100 human corpses must be needed every day, preferably the kind of special human with super high life energy, otherwise, it will not be able to supplement the nutrition I need. Why do I have to obey his orders? The first confrontation between the chimeric ants and the Nen kicked off. I really want to eat humans. I'm so mad, it's all the fault of that B**************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************** Now, I can finally eat humans. Ordered the queen ant. Why can I only eat horse meat here? Ramodo cursed while gnawing on the horse meat, with horse blood still flowing from the corner of his mouth. Human breath. Not long after, La Huang finally ran into Lan Fei, Kate, Gon, and Kid Kurapika. Suddenly, Ramodo, who was gnawing on the horse meat with his head down, suddenly raised his head and looked in a certain direction, where a human breath was approaching. In fact, with the strength of Lan Fei and others, they can completely detect the existence of Lamaduo, but as the ant queen, Lamaduo is the worker ant whose strength is closest to that of the head of the division. He has the ability to completely eliminate the breath ability. Ramodo didn't have the slightest awe for Grudo, the division commander, because Grudo was born before them. Everyone's strength was about the same, so how could he become the division commander? In the forest 830 meters away from the queen ant's nest. The several division heads who stood in front of the queen and obeyed the orders all knelt on one knee, and lowered their proud heads respectfully. Hateful. Okay. Ramodo wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth, showing a ferocious smile, and then walked in the direction of Lan Fei and the others. Chapter 138 8-foot Chonguyu, beheading the worker ant Lamaduo open black lens bracket subscription close black lens bracket. Hey, suddenly, when Lan Fei and the others walked to a flat grassland to discuss the horse carcasses that were hung from high tree trunks, a thick and murderous voice came from behind them. That guy is. Chiya was taken aback. What a tall figure, it doesn't look like a human being. Gon was also shocked. 4 toes, pointy ears. Kurapika looked at Ramodo in front of him curiously. It finally appeared, the worker ants born by the queen ant. It's really not that simple, you can hide your own aura. Lan Fei thought to himself, staring at Lamaduo with a calm face. Yeah, it can completely eliminate the breath. With our strength, we couldn't find him in the first place. Kate was also shocked. Trash humans, those are my stuff. At this moment, Lamaduo raised his finger and pointed at the horse corpses that he hung on the tree, and the figure suddenly rushed towards Lan Fei and the others. Be careful, Kate reminded. Whoosh whoosh. Lan Fei, Kate, and Kurapika jumped up to avoid Ramodo's attack. The strength of the three of them is much stronger than Gon and Chiya, so they are naturally not afraid of Lamaduo in front of them. Gon, Chiya, I will let you practice this guy. In the future, I am afraid that you will encounter chimeric ants like this monster. If you can't even defeat him, then it will be difficult to protect yourself from the division leaders of those chimeric ants. Lan Fei reminded. Boom. Seeing that he was flying in the air, Lamaduo suddenly grabbed Gon and Chiya with his sharp claws. The speed is so fast. Chiya was taken aback. In an instant, the sharp claws pierced the air and made a loud bang. Before Gon and Chiya had time, they were directly sent flying by the sharp claws, and the sharp pain spread all over their bodies. A lot of power. Gon's expression changed drastically. Boom. At this time, Chiya and Gon, who were slapped flying by a claw and stood still, burst out with a strong aura. That is the practice of their release. Obviously, Gon and Chiya are getting serious. What's going on? Backquote. How did these humans do it? It feels like they suddenly became much stronger. Ramodo frowned. Wow. Just as Ramodo was fighting Gon and Chiya, on a giant tree 30 meters away, Grudo, the division commander under the command of the Queen Ant, slowly flew down, secretly watching everything in front of him. As the head of the division, Grudo is stronger than Ramodo, and he can also hide his aura, so that Lan Fei and others have never noticed his arrival. Gon, Chiya, come on. Use all your strength to kill him. shouted Kurapika. Win or lose, we're already in hell. Kate reminded. Boom. As soon as Kate's words fell, Gon and Chiya rushed towards Lamaduo from different directions, wanting to test Lamaduo's strength by using the opportunity of getting close. Humph. It's nothing more than two children. However, it would be a great achievement if we can capture you human beings with powerful energy back. Ramodo licked the corner of his mouth. Boom. 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 Although Lamaduo doesn't know how to use mind, but as the worker ant whose strength is closest to the head of the division, his strength and speed are very strong, not at all inferior to the Phantom Troupe members. Under the attack of Gon and Chiya, Lamaduo blocked it easily, and even suppressed it, forcing Gon and Chiya to retreat one after another. You know, the strength of Gon and Chiya has improved a lot compared to before, but they are still no match for Lamaduo in terms of strength and speed. It is conceivable how terrifying the abnormal creature like Chimera Ant is. Damn it. Chiya wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth. How about eating my strongest move? Whoosh. Chiya leapt into the air and landed on the top of Ramodo's head. A silver scorching ray of light slowly condensed from his fingertips, and the ray of light was intertwined with violent lightning energy, which was his Nen's special skill, lightning strike. Thunder. Chiya's figure swooped down directly from the void, and the lightning in his hand smashed fiercely on Lamaduo's body. Ah! In an instant, a shrill scream came out of Ramodo's mouth, and the powerful electric shock paralyzed his whole body. Oh, it turned out to be thunder. Chiya's strength is not bad, transmuter Nen. Kate watched all this with a calm face. Rock. Scissors. Rock. At the same time, a powerful golden light was also accumulating in Gon's punch, and all the training of the whole body was concentrated on this punch. Apparently, Gon has also pulled out his nirvana. Boom. Just when Lamaduo was paralyzed by Chiya's electric shock, Gon's powerful punch hit Lamaduo's chest heavily, knocking Lamaduo's tall and burly figure into the air, and threw him into the air. Gon, well done, hits the nail on the head. Quote. Chiya looked overjoyed. Whoosh. 1. Suddenly, just as Ramodo's figure was about to fall to the ground from a high altitude, Korudo, who was hiding in the dark, spread his wings and flew up. The speed was as fast as lightning, and the sharp claws of his feet caught Ramodo firmly. Figure. Okay. This sudden change surprised Lan Fei and others. There are other chimeric ants hidden in the dark of this forest. Damn it. Smelly boys, I must eat you all. I will definitely. You guys remember it for me. Ramodo, who was rescued by Korudo, roared suddenly, and the look of baring his teeth made the already ferocious face even more weird. 2 nirvana hits, but nothing happened. Kurapika was taken aback. Chimeric ants, Wang Zhao, are so strong. Want to escape? Lan Fei grinned, then raised his hand, and the fiery golden light was accumulating. 8-foot Chong Guyu. In an instant, countless densely packed dazzling light bullets flooded Gorudo and Ramodo, and the density covered the void. Not good. What kind of method is this? How did that human? How did it? Grudo was taken aback, and the claws quickly pulled the injured Ramodo to his body, blocking Lan Fei's attack. Pom 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 pom. In the blink of an eye, Ramodo's figure was directly pierced by dense light bullets, and he was smashed into pieces. Ramodo didn't realize until his death that he had become a shield in the hands of Korudo. And in order to survive, Grudo didn't care about Ramodo's life and death. His wings shook behind him, turned into a stream of light and disappeared into the sky, leaving only Ramodo's body falling from the void. Chapter 139 The Anesthetic Factory, the head of the division under the Queen Ant, Zanjo open black lens bracket subscription close black lens bracket. It's a pity that he escaped. Seeing Grudo's figure disappear into the sky, Kate couldn't help sighing. No way, who told someone to grow a pair of wings, and even used his companion's body as a shield? Lan Fei shrugged. This guy has been hiding in the dark, and we couldn't find his aura. Obviously, chimeric ants can completely block their own aura, which makes our investigation even more difficult. Kurapika reminded. That's right, if the enemy can hide their breath, we will always be passive. Chiya nodded. At the end of the day, Chiya and I are too weak. If we had Lan Fei's strength, we could have kept that guy. Gon shook his head. It's okay. Your attacks just now were not so bad that you need to be frustrated. The next step is to see how much combat experience you can accumulate. Moreover, this round of fighting should be a test for each other. Kate reminded. Understood. Gon and Chiya nodded at the same time. Lan Fei, your strength is good. Transmuter Nen can effectively block the enemy, and at the same time has flexible mobility. Kate cast an appreciative glance at Lan Fei. Release 193 out of the system. Lan Fei smiled, but did not speak. Everyone, our destination on this trip, whether we win or lose, will be hell. Kate took a deep breath, and the ominous premonition in her heart became more intense. And nest. At this moment, all division heads are gathered here, waiting for the Queen's orders. Grudo, who got it back, was extremely pale. Although he was lucky enough to save his life, he still had lingering fears about Lan Fei's attack method. Originally thought that with a pair of wings, these division commanders would be invincible, but Luduo was wrong. Human beings also have strengths and weaknesses. The Lan Fei and the others he met were almost at the top level. Special human. The Queen Ant grinned and stared at Grudo. Your Majesty, those humans are very powerful, and Lamaduo died in their hands. Their attack moves are very weird, they can condense lightning, and they can also condense golden light bullets. Even if AFEJ, we can fly, once we are locked, it will be very difficult. Grudo gritted his teeth. Is there really such a powerful human being? The Queen Ant was unwilling to believe it. I'm sure that if our division heads are in a one-on-one situation, they will not be their opponents at all. Unless all division heads join forces, the regiment has hope of defeating these peculiar humans. Moreover, the nutritional value of these special humans should be better. I believe Her Majesty the Queen will like it. Grotto reminded. Goldo, you are not scared by these humans, are you? Our strength is affirmed by Her Majesty the Queen. Once we join forces, wouldn't these peculiar humans be within reach? One of the division leaders with gray hair and a leopard-like appearance spoke up. HMPH. We are here to find those strange humans, and we will definitely send them to Her Majesty the Queen. A red-haired woman said that she even had a tail with a poisonous hook on it, which looked like a poisonous sting on a shoe. The scene is really tragic. The smell of corpses has become a road sign. Somewhere in the forest in NGL, Lan Fei and others tracked all the way smelling the smell of blood, and finally came to a canyon. The corpses here are piled up like a mountain, and some of them are hung on the treetops. Some corpses have been dismembered, and their heads are in different places. The tragedy is unimaginable. There are guns here. It should be the so-called underground ruler in NGL, right? HxH slowly picked up the 2 guns. Well, they're the only ones who carry guns and know how to build them. I didn't expect that they all died here. Kate nodded. Kate, Lan Fei, come and take a look. At this time, Gon, who went to the edge of the canyon to search, seemed to have found something. Whoosh whoosh. Lan Fei, Kate, HxH, and Kurapika flickered and landed beside Gon. It smells so strong. Lan Fei frowned. Below the canyon, corpses piled up like a mountain, all of which were left over after being eaten by chimeric ants. On the opposite side of the canyon is the anesthetic factory built by the underground rulers in NGL, but now it has been suppressed and controlled by chimeric ants. Is that the nest of chimeric ants? Kurapika stared gravely at the rocky mountain across the canyon. Inside the rocky mountain, there are hidden mysterious caves, and there are bright lights in the caves. Probably not. Their nests don't have to be dug, they're built out of dirt and dung. Kate took a deep breath. Let's go check it out and find out. Whoosh whoosh. In an instant, the figures of the 5 people flickered and swept towards the rocky mountain opposite the canyon. Soon, they walked into one of the caves. There are also caves on the left and right. And this anesthetic factory was occupied by him. It's coming towards us from the cave in the middle. Suddenly, a gloomy scream came from the central cave, and 2 skinny figures slowly crawled out. Their hands and feet were all bound by chains, like a dog. Kate, how far can you search? Kate nodded. Be careful, they're coming. HxH asked. About 45 meters or so. Lan Fei nodded. Kurapika reminded. This means, it should be a circle. Suddenly, Kate's face changed suddenly, and she looked at the 3 interconnected caves in the distance. A few chimeric ants are still hiding here. Okay. And behind them, a chimeric ant with a horse body and a human head slowly came out. Here is the dark side of NGL, that is, the anesthetic factory of the underground rulers. Only, found chimeric ants. He is the division commander under the command of the Queen Ant, Yu Zhou. Chapter 140 The Ant Queen's Direct Guard, Catwoman Neferpito open black lens bracket subscription close black lens bracket. What an ugly chimeric ant. Seeing Zanzhou leading 2 skinny humans out, Lan Fei couldn't help frowning. Help us. One of the chained humans looked at Lan Fei and the others with a begging expression on his face, his eyes full of horror and despair. Yo yo yo, are you special humans? Now, the dog I'm leading can be replaced. Zanzhou licked the corner of his mouth, his tongue was exactly like a lizard's letter, and a pair of golden pupils glowed strangely. Too bad. At this moment, 2 figures also walked out of the caves on both sides. They were the 2 worker ants under Zanzhou's command. One is a sexy woman with thin wings, and the other is a centipede-like man with dense tentacles. Please, please help me. Another skinny human being bound by chains also yelled at Lan Fei and the others. Court death. It's a pity that the only response to them was the horse's hoof of the horse, which directly trampled the 2 of them to death. This bloody scene instantly made Gon, HxH, and Kurapika feel shuddering. On the contrary, Kate and Lan Fei had seen more scenes than Gon and the other 3, so they were naturally not frightened. Hateful. Gon gritted his teeth and stared at Zanzhou. Gon, HxH, the 2 worker ants on both sides will be handed over to you. The one left, lie. Excitement that I haven't seen in a long time. Besides the Phantom Troupe members, these chimeric ants also aroused my desire. Kurapika said lightly. Gon, HxH, Kate and I will try our best not to make a move, just treat it as the trump card of our trip. You just have to fight hard. Lan Fei reminded. Gon, go up. HxH took a deep breath. Boom. In an instant, HxH and Gon burst out with a strong energy, and the 2 rushed towards their opponents at the same time. HxH's opponent is the sexy beauty with thin wings, and Gon's opponent is the tentacle monster. Thousand Hands Fist. In an instant, the tentacle monster also made a move, and the dense tentacles on his body turned into fist lights, and swamped Gon. Gon didn't dare to be careless, his figure flickered to avoid the fatal blow of the tentacle monster, and then he perched on the side of the tentacle monster, and directly punched it. The figure of the tentacle monster swayed, and then took a few steps back to stabilize its body. What a hard body. Not just human strength, but human tenacity. Gon took a deep breath, and a stronger chi burst out, and then condensed into his fist. Little devil, your attack is not painful to me, so die. The tentacle monster stepped on it and rushed towards Jaeyuan. Scissors, rock, scissors. Suddenly, Gon opened his fist, and his index finger and middle finger were closed together. All the energy in his body was concentrated in the fingertips, turning into sharp fingertips like scissors. Puff! Gon's figure flickered, and he also rushed towards the tentacle monster, his scissor-sharp sword fingers directly slashed across the tentacle monster's huge body. In an instant, the powerful body of the tentacle monster was cut in half directly, and the death was extremely tragic. On the other hand, the battle between Chiya and the thin-winged woman has also entered a fierce stage. Chiya directly showed his strength as a killer. Poof! When the two were fighting at top speed, Chiya was directly stung by the poisonous needle behind the thin-winged beauty, and her figure slowly fell down. Originally, Bow-Winged Beauty thought that she had a good chance of winning, but Chiya's system is different from ordinary people. He has developed immunity to many poisons. Naturally, he is not afraid of Bow-Winged Beauty's Lei Yu. Gotcha. Just when the thin-winged beauty turned to look at the battle between Kurapika and Yujo, her head was directly twisted off by Chiya, showing a 360-degree rotation. Sorry, it's not time for you to look around. My system is immune to almost 90% of the poison, and your poison is ineffective against me. Chiya stared at the thin-winged beauty with a calm face. So that's it. Even though her head was twisted off, the thin-winged beauty did not die instantly. Her empty eyes were still staring at Chiya, preparing for the final blow before she died. 0. Ask for flowers. You monsters are really scary. The head was twisted off, and he couldn't die. Whoosh. Chiya's figure flickered, the veins in his right hand popped out, his fingers seemed to have turned into sharp claws, and he directly scratched the thin-winged beauty's head. In an instant, blood spattered, and the death of the thin-winged beauty was also tragic. Clatter. On the other side, the chain in Kurapika's hand was also wrapped around the helmet, making his figure unable to move. Humph. Mere human beings, don't be arrogant. Boom. A powerful strange force erupted from Zanjo's body. He wanted to break free from Kurapika's chains, but he couldn't break free no matter what. 0. Impossible. Zanjo roared loudly. Kurapika raised his hand and stared at Shuanjo calmly. He didn't give Shuanjo the slightest chance at all. The chain pierced through Shuanjo's head directly, blood spattered, and he died tragically on the spot. Nice job. Seeing that the 3 chimeric ants were all killed, Kate was very satisfied with the strength displayed by Gon, Kurapika, and Chiya. Except for the 3 super perverts who are directly under the guard of the Ant King, they can handle everyone else. Lan Fei nodded. The Ant King's direct guard. Kate looked at Lan Fei with a surprised expression. Well, the strength of these 3 people is abnormal. Even if it's you, I'm afraid you can only run for your life. Lan Fei nodded. What? Hearing this, Kate was taken aback. Deep in the queen's nest. Gotcha. The middle one of the 3 huge eggs that had been hanging upside down on the soil wall actually split open at this moment. In the shattered eggs, a figure slowly fell, with traces of blue liquid entangled in it. She is the Catwoman Neferpitou, a member of the Queen's direct guard. As a direct guard, Neferpitou is born with unfathomable strength. Chapter 141 Hunter Association Action, Kate's Death Waltz Open Black Lens Bracket Subscription Close Black Lens Bracket. That's when Neferpitou, a super freak who was directly under the Queen's guard, was born. At this time, the Hunter Association also received information about chimeric ants from the Ecological Survey Team. Office of the President of Netero. Because there are already a large number of victims, they will do whatever they can. May I understand this? Chairman Netero is holding a communication device in his hand, and the other end of the device is connected to the highest international authority. This is up to you, an expert, to judge. We will not intervene. In short, we hope that the Hunter Association can find a way to eliminate those dangerous creatures as soon as possible. A deep voice came from the other end of the phone. I see. Netero took a deep breath, and hung up the phone directly. We must eliminate those chimeric ants, and we cannot let them spread panic all over the world. All the consequences of 893 will be borne by the Hunter Association. A forest only a few kilometers away from the Queen Ant's nest. The moon hung high, and under the moonlight densely packed figures surrounded Lan Fei and the others. After killing the chimeric ant queen headed by the commander of the division, Lan Fei, Kate and others left the poison factory. However, after they left, the death of Yujo was also known to the division heads of other chimeric ants. The other division heads and army commanders all dispatched to surround the forest. Gon, Chiya, your opportunity to practice has come again. Kate, who was walking in the front, stopped slowly. These chimeric ants can hide their breath, which is really a headache. Lan Fei glanced around, and all the densely packed chimeric ants came out, some standing on treetops, some standing on top of rocks, and some standing on the lawn, blocking all the escape routes of Lan Fei and others. However, Lan Fei didn't care about these army commanders and even miscellaneous soldiers. These chimeric ants were enough for Gon to practice with Chiya. The number is astonishing, Kurapika said coldly, staring around vigilantly. Okay, let's decide the order and how to fight the opponent. As the target, you can choose the fighting method. 1. Immediately decide the order of battle. 2. Try to escape. 3. Give up struggling and go back with us directly. Boom. In an instant, one of the army commanders jumped down from the highest rock wall, and the densely packed worker ants behind him also rushed out, slowly narrowing the encirclement. Chiya, let's make a move together. There are so many chimeric ants, when will this fight? Gon grinned. Whoosh. In an instant, Gon Shuaishao made a move, his figure flickered, and he rushed towards one of the army captains. Zzz. Xia also made a move, with thunder and lightning condensing all over his body, and rushed towards the other army leader. Clatter. Kurapika's chain also moved, entwining towards the worker ants, knocking down a large area in an instant. Isn't it too weak? Kurapika shook his head. These army commanders are much weaker than division commanders, and they didn't arouse my desire to fight at all. Xia showed amazing assassination methods, and the worker ants fell under his sharp claws one by one. Rock scissors. Rock. Gon also used his nirvana, directly killing an army commander, too weak. No challenge at all. Is there no one who is twice as deceitful as this guy? Xia wiped the blood on his hands, showing a strange smile. It seems that I overestimated them, and opponents at the army commander level are not to worry about at all. The uneasiness in my heart is really unfounded. Kate secretly said. He raised his hand, and Manipulator's crazy Oda appeared out of nowhere. We can't waste time with these miscellaneous soldiers. Thump thump thump. 2. The crazy clown scrolled the numbers directly, and finally stopped at the number 2. Boom. Immediately afterwards, in Kate's hand, a huge and strange scythe emerged out of thin air. It missed again. Kate said lightly, as Kate going to make a move. Seeing a scythe materialized in Kate's hand, Lan Fei grinned. In Lan Fei's opinion, Kate's strength should be about the same as that of Leza, and he can be regarded as a first-class master. That is. Gon stared solemnly at the scythe in Kate's hand. Scythe, a materialized weapon that looks quite dangerous. Xia narrowed her eyes. This scythe is more dangerous than my chains, and the manipulator. Kurapika slowly retracted the chain in his hand. Gon, Xia, Lan Fei, Kurapika, jump up in 3 seconds, I'm going to make a move. Kate slowly raised the sickle, and the sickle made a crisp metallic sound, and thick fog began to fill her body. This man is so strong. This nasty oppressive feeling. A frog-shaped army chief stared at Kate in horror. He wanted to escape, but the invisible pressure on the sickle made him unable to move. The waltz of death. In an instant, under the shadow of the moonlight, the 5 figures of Lan Fei continued to rush towards the queen ant's nest. So strong. Xia also felt incredible. Lan Fei took a deep look at Kate. If she could become Jin's disciple and become a professional hunter in her own right, Kate's strength would definitely be able to squeeze into the top level of the Hunter Association. This is the only move that can be performed with this scythe. Boom. Whoosh whoosh. With a wave of Kate's hand, the scythe cut through the void, cut through the fog, and directly rolled up a tornado-like knife light, cutting in all directions like a death instrument. Kate shook her head helplessly, glanced at the corpse on the ground, and reminded with a solemn face. Next, we are going to the deepest part of the NGL territory. The queen's nest should be getting closer and closer to us. In an instant, the densely packed chimera ants were cut in half, the head and body were separated, and the powerful tornado blade light directly swept up the high night sky and disappeared under the night. Kill all the chimera sappers with one move 0.6. Gon jumped up and landed slowly, staring at Kate in shock. Kurapika thought to himself, what a weird ability, what a weird attack style. It really is strong enough. Walk. Kate waved her hand, and the scythe in her hand disappeared out of thin air. Disappear. Chapter 142 The Pressure from Catwoman, Kate's Panic. Open black lens bracket subscribe close black lens bracket. It has to be said that there are quite a lot of chimeric ants. The closer they got to the queen's nest, the more and more the number of chimeric ants encountered by Lan Fei and the others. On a flat grass field, there are 2 figures squatting at the moment. It is the division commander who looks like a tiger under the queen ant's command, and there is an army commander who looks like a rabbit beside him. Retreat. Retreat quickly. At this time, a frightened message came from the ear of the head of the division head with a tiger head. Frata, what's going on? The head of the division with a tiger head was taken aback. Rumble. Suddenly, at this moment, there was a terrible vibration from a forest not far away, and a terrible thick fog filled the sky, forming a tornado and sweeping high into the sky, densely packed with fragments of chimera ant engineers. Corpses splashed out in all directions. This is. The head of the division with a tiger head stared at the corpses of the worker ants that fell in front of him, feeling a little uneasy. Suddenly, he looked up, and saw a man holding a sickle coming out of the dense fog in the forest, followed by 4 humans behind him. Wow, what a handsome guy. Beside him, the army commander who looked like a rabbit suddenly became excited. Such a strong breath. 0.05. Feeling the powerful aura from Kate, the head of the tiger-headed division swallowed his saliva. Let's go back. W. Kate, do you want to go to heaven? In the distance, Gon looked at Kate, asking for his opinion. No, this place should not be far from the queen ant's nest. I will cast a circle to lock his position, and we will just follow behind. Kate said lightly. For safety's sake, we'd better be careful. Xia nodded. To be able to calmly see the difference in strength between the two, as well as the judgment to decide to stop, this guy should be at the division head level. Lan Fei reminded. Well, only chimeric ants at the level of division commanders have the thinking and thinking like humans. Kurapika nodded. I originally thought that my claws and fangs were the center of the world. As long as I swung them a little, I could easily end other people's lives and fill my own stomach. However, this is not the case. Outsiders some people, there is a sky beyond the sky. It turns out that I am not standing at the highest point. With our current strength, we cannot defeat them. Learning and absorbing experience is our current disaster. Why? In the distance, the head of the division with a tiger head and a human body withdrew towards the queen ant's nest without looking back. Walk. While my circle can still lock his position, we will try our best to catch up. The queen's nest should be nearby. As long as you follow this guy, you should be able to find the queen's nest. Kate couldn't help but reminded when seeing the division commander with a tiger head retreating. Whoosh. In an instant, Kate's figure flickered, and she was the first to catch up. It's amazing. Kate has maintained a circle with a radius of 45 meters all night, which is the real master of reading. She thought to herself, her figure flickered, and she chased after Kate. Round. Lan Fei grinned. He had already learned all the application techniques he read, and the reason why he didn't show it was because he didn't need it. After all, the abilities of Bamen Dunjia and Shining Fruit are enough to deal with many masters. The only ones who can force themselves to use Nen are those as powerful as the 12 earthly branches. Gone, Kurapika, don't fall behind. Lan Fei's figure flickered, turned into a golden light, and chased after Kate. At this time, the Queen Ant nest. Notice, all division commanders, army commanders. Master Neferpitou, head of the Legion, will then meet with you and hold an award ceremony in the first lecture hall. A voice spread to every corner of the lair. Everyone, you will exchange a little physical pain for great strength here. You must give full play to this power and serve Her Majesty the Queen. Not long after, division heads and army commanders all gathered in the direction where the voice came from. And the speaker is a chimeric ant that looks like an owl. His name is Peggy. Of course, it is not strong, but it is the most knowledgeable chimeric ant division head. Because, he has already learned the cultivation of thoughts and the system of thoughts from human beings. The so-called special human beings become more and more powerful because they have learned the cultivation of thoughts. Let's start. At this moment, Neferpitou waved his hand. Everyone, Grudo will train you next. Peggy said lightly. Watch out. Korudo began to show the Nyen he had just cultivated, and also passed on the practice of Nyen. It's really hard work for human beings. It takes such hard work to stimulate the energy in the body. Neferpitou crossed his arms and looked calmly at the division commanders and army commanders in front of him. Okay. Suddenly, Neferpitou seemed to have sensed something. His face could not help showing a strange look of excitement, and the pair of cat ears on his head could not help turning. Peggy, I leave this to you. Neferpitou turned around slowly and walked out of the cave. Where are you going? Asked Peggy. I'm going to confirm how strong I am. Neferpitou grinned, his bright eyes instantly turned fiery red. The other side, Kate, who was following the trail of the 200-person Tiger Head division commander, stopped slowly. He hid at the highest point of the forest rock area, and slowly squatted down. As this, a monster. How did this happen? It's unbelievable. As a master, Kate also sensed the terrible breath of Neferpitou. Kate, what's going on? Kurapika frowned. Could it be? Kate sensed the presence of Catwoman. He could feel that he had been targeted by a terrifying monster. What's the matter, Tay? And this monster is Neferpitou. Kate roared solemnly, showing a frightened look for the first time. Or, it's too late to wait. Lan Fei narrowed his eyes, and there was a trace of strong fighting spirit in his pupils. Is there a scary chimera approaching? Gone, Chiya, Lan Fei, Kurapika, run away. 3 super perverts who are directly under the guard of the Ant King broke out of their shells. Get out of here quickly. Escape. Chiya shook his head. Did I sense something? Kate yelled. Gon caught up and asked. Stop talking nonsense. Run away now. Chapter 143 The first confrontation between Lan Fei and Neferpitou open black lens bracket subscription close black lens bracket. Outside the rock wall of a queen ant's nest. Neferpitou stood at the highest point, and the moonlight under the night reflected her figure in a strange posture, and her long tail swayed and swayed with the cold wind. Covered by silver hair, a pair of crimson eyes looked extraordinarily impotent. Found it. Neferpitou squinted his eyes and said to himself. From such a distance, he can still sense Kate's breath, because Kate is releasing her circle at this moment. Boom. In an instant, Neferpitou's feet bent down suddenly, her muscles tightened and contracted, and an amazing ejection force erupted. She shot out directly and rushed towards Kate's direction. Coming. Get out of my side. Sensing the approach of Neferpitou's breath, Kate couldn't help but face a big change, and waved at Gon. So fast. Lan Fei was also taken aback. Although he had known Catwoman's strength for a long time, he still felt unbelievable after experiencing it personally. Catwoman's strength and speed are definitely the strongest Lan Fei has ever seen, second only to President Netero. Stronger than Hisoka and Phantom Troupe members, it is estimated that only a master like Yingza can fight her. Gon, Chiya, step back quickly. Lan Fei's figure flickered, turned into a golden light and swept towards Kate. In an instant, golden light and crimson light appeared in front of and behind Kate at the same time. Lan Fei knew that if he didn't make a move, Kate might lose an arm. In an instant, Catwoman's wrist was held tightly by Lan Fei's palm. It's dangerous. Lan Fei this guy. Kate's figure flew back and landed beside Gon. Okay. Neferpitou frowned. She could feel a huge force from her wrist, which could suppress her own strange force. Moreover, what made Neferpitou even more shocked was that someone could react at his full speed. This trip, Neferpitou was originally to test how strong his own strength is, but he didn't expect to be stopped just after he appeared. Humph. Suddenly, Neferpitou's crimson eyes burst into a strong light, and a terrifying aura burst out making the masters of Gon, Chiya, and Kurapika not far away feel unprecedented fear. This sense of fear is even scarier than the Hisoka I met back then. It's like falling into an abyss. Because of fear, the body has already begun to lose control. Gone. Chiya, Kurapika, cheer up. Quote. This guy's strength is too terrifying, he should be the guard directly under the Queen Ant. Boom. In an instant, a strong aura erupted from Kate's body, directly blocking Neferpito's aura, and gone. Chiya and Kurapika got a chance to breathe. Kate's strength is definitely comparable to the top players at the level of Leza. Therefore, even though she was shocked by the strength displayed by Neferpito, she did not have the slightest fear. What a scary aura, I was almost pinned down. Gon widened his eyes and said with lingering fear. Yeah, I can hardly breathe, her aura is scarier than than Hisoka's. Chiya nodded. This guy's strength, compared with the division heads of those chimera ants before, seems to be a world apart. Even if members of Phantom Troupe encounter this kind of monster, they probably have no choice but to run away. Kurapika thought to himself, his whole nerves tensed up. Light speed kick. At this time, Lan Fei suddenly raised his foot, the dazzling golden light slowly gathered on the tip of his toe, and kicked directly on Neferpito's abdomen. Boom. Neferpito didn't activate any defenses, but let Lan Fei kick him, and he flew upside down, breaking several big trees behind him, before throwing him into the air. Phew. The speed of light kick was so powerful that Neferpito's figure kept flying back in the sky, retreating hundreds of meters before stopping. Although this kick is powerful, it didn't cause me any harm. Now, I finally know my true strength. Neferpito grinned and activated his Nen. HxH wants to. In an instant, Fei Peter summoned his own demon puppeteer. It can be said that Neferpito's mind is the strongest among the 3 members of the Ant King's direct guard team. She is born with a powerful trait, Nen, and her mind field contains strong malice, which can easily defeat the spirit of most opponents. Make it lose resistance, and then lose without a fight. That's why Kate, Gon, Chiya, Kurapika are terrified. After all, the shiny fruit can be turned into elements, so it is not afraid of any attack from Neferpito. Seeing Lan Fei's figure turning into dots of golden light and flying towards Kate, Neferpito couldn't help but startled, feeling a little curious. Boom. In the blink of an eye, Lan Fei's body was pierced by Neferpito's sharp claws. Moreover, Neferpito's circle is the largest and widest among the 3 members of the direct guard, which is why she sensed Kate in the first place. Kate shouted. Puff. In the next second, the golden light condensed the figure of Lan Fei. What is this Nen? In an instant, Neferpito's figure turned into a beam of red light and disappeared into the sky. Because her circle and Kate's circle collided with each other. Moreover, now that Neferpito has activated HxH Wushang, this is an ability that she will only show if she wants to fight with all her strength, and it only takes 0.1 seconds from launching the ability attack. Kate stared closely at Lan Fei, who, like Neferpito, was overwhelmed by the terrifying power Lan Fei displayed. Isn't it amazing? It's not that Lan Fei doesn't want to avoid it, it's that he doesn't care about it at all. Neferpito uses HxH to summon the demon puppeteer, and the puppeteer manipulates Neferpito's body through chanting strings, so that it can exert strength and speed beyond the limit, and can also explode at an astonishing speed in the sky. Okay. Lan Fei, watch out. Chapter 144 Tiankongyan Sword, Lan Fei's Curse Nen Open Black Lens Bracket Subscription Close Black Lens Bracket. Just kidding, Lan Fei's shiny fruit is natural, it can be elementalized, and it can be called an immortal body. Unless, encountering that kind of perverted existence, like Chiya's younger brother Yalujia. Zoldyck, Lan Fei's immortal body may be useless. Once the chain of traits like Kurapika is locked in the heart, even Lan Fei may have nothing to do. It's a pity that this ability of Kurapika can only be applied to Phantom Troupe members, and it is invalid for other people. As for Lan Fei's elementalization, even President Netero, who can be called the strongest Nen in the world, might not be able to suppress Lan Fei. Because President Netero's Nen is explosive, not restrictive or restrictive, so Lan Fei can be completely fearless. The same is true for Neferpito in front of her. Her Nen has super strength, but she can't suppress Lan Fei's elementalization, so naturally she can't help Lan Fei. Of course, if you want to defeat Neferpito with only the ability of the shiny fruit, it is impossible. Neferpito's attack and defense are very strong, reaching the point of invulnerability. The power of the sparkling fruit can defeat Bryn at all. Therefore, in order to defeat her, you must open the 8 doors of armor, or open the cursed Nen. Human Nen is really 830 magic. Seeing Lan Fei standing next to Kate safe and sound, Fei Pito couldn't help squinting his eyes. Originally, Neferpito sensed Kate's circle, and then chased after her, wanting to test how strong she is. After all, the circle she cast is much larger than the circle cast by Kate. From this perspective, Neferpito's strength is much stronger than Kate's. Therefore, Neferpito didn't take Kate seriously. However, unexpectedly, there is a Nen master hidden beside Kate, an enemy who is enough to make her feel troublesome. Lan Fei, this guy is strong. If it doesn't work, let's withdraw first. Kate has never seen Lan Fei show his true strength, even though Lan Fei's ability of the shiny fruit is very strange, but in Kate's view, Lan Fei is still not Neferpito's opponent. Because, on the collision of the circle with the circle, Kate has already developed a little fear of Neferpito. So far, he has never seen anyone whose circle can match Neferpito's. Neferpito's circle almost covers several kilometers or even more than 10 kilometers. What is this concept? You know, Kate's own circle also tightly covers a range of 45 meters, a circle of several kilometers or even more than 10 kilometers. The entire human race, I am afraid that only the world's top 5 powerhouses can do it. Retreat. Lan Fei shook his head, grinned and said, I finally met a real opponent, how could I retreat? Little cat, don't you really want to know how strong you are? Let me be your opponent tonight. Lan Fei took a deep breath and walked towards Neferpitou step by step. Little kitty. Hearing this, Neferpitou's crimson eyes instantly burst into a strange light, and a more terrifying aura crushed Lan Fei. As a member of the Ant King's direct guard, how noble is her status? Almost one person is under one person and above 10,000 people. It is the first time for the proud she to hear a human being call her a kitten. This is a shame. No wonder even Kate backed down. Your anger is indeed strong and scary enough. However, there are people outside the sky and people outside the sky. Today I will show you how terrifying the real strong human beings are. Lan Fei stared at Neferpitou with a half smile. Gone, is this guy Lan Fei crazy? Kate frowned. Lan Fei, a 12 or 13-year-old boy, how open can he be? Even if he is himself, he deeply feels the gap in strength between him and Neferpitou, but Lan Fei, it's fine if he doesn't retreat AFDF, but he dares to provoke. Kate, Lan Fei's strength is really strong. He is my big brother. With him, we don't have to retreat at all. Gon took a deep look at Lan Fei. Even with the fear of Neferpitou in his heart, Gon saw a dazzling golden light on Lan Fei, which was the dawn of victory. Gon felt that as long as Lan Fei was there, no matter how powerful the enemy was, they could be easily dealt with. Is he your big brother? My own big brother. Kim has other sons besides you. Kate was taken aback by hearing Gon's words. He is the big brother who played with me since childhood. Not your own life is better than your own life. Gon nodded seriously. Kate, don't worry, we are safe with Lan Fei here. HxH gave Kate a reassuring look. This guy is the one who even the president of Tero personally issued a green pass. Kurapika reminded. Indeed, Lan Fei only took 2 exams before he got the special approval from President Tero, becoming the first person in history to get the hunter qualification certificate without completing the exam. Amazon Cloud Sword. At this time, Lan Fei raised his hand, and the golden light slowly gathered in his hand, condensing a golden long sword. In Lan Fei's view, there are only 2 ways to defeat Neferpitou, one is to open the 8 Door Dunjia, and the other is to use his own nen. However, once the 8 Door Dunjia is activated, I can only maintain it for 10 minutes, and after 10 minutes, I will be stretched, and I have to wait for half an hour before I can recover my strength. If the other 2 members of the Ant King's direct guard arrive, it's troublesome. With Kate's strength, it would be difficult enough to deal with 1, let alone 2. By then, a group of 5 people might be taken over by 1 pot. So, Lan Fei chose to use his own nen, the curse. Manipulator. Seeing the Tiankongan sword condensed in Lan Fei's hands, Kate frowned again. Condensed objects, that is the manipulator. But isn't the move that Lan Fei used before transmuters? Sword. It was also the first time for Gon to see Lan Fei condense the Tiankongan sword. After all, this is the second time Lan Fei has used Tiankongan sword since he traveled to this world. The first time he gave it to Shen Saiyu from the 12 earthly branches in the sky arena. In order to challenge Shen Saiyu, the owner of the 250th floor, Lan Fei directly sacrificed Tiankongan sword, cutting off Shen Saiyu's arms and legs. Chapter 145 Kitty, accept my judgment open black lens bracket subscription close black lens bracket. Manipulator. What the hell is going on with Lan Fei's nen? It's totally unpredictable. Kurapika stared at Lan Fei in shock. Before, when Lan Fei fought against the members of Phantom Troupe, he showed the ability of the shiny fruit, which made Kurapika think that Lan Fei was a transmuter nen. I feel that Lan Fei, like myself, should be a trait type. Under certain conditions, he can use transmuter and enhancer at the same time. But now, Lan Fei has condensed the Tiankongan sword, which can only be done by a manipulator. One person can actually switch nen of multiple systems. This is a bit scary. Lan Fei, nen has always been a mystery, his strength is probably comparable to the world's top 5. HxH stared at Lan Fei solemnly. At the same age, why is my strength so weak? HxH doubted herself a little. As a family of killers, HxH is very proud of her own strength, but this pride lost its luster after meeting Lan Fei. Boom. At this moment, Neferpitou's feet were slightly bent, and a cold light flashed in his red eyes, giving people a strong sense of oppression. With super strength and terrifying speed, Neferpitou is definitely the strongest among the 3 members of the guard directly under the Ant King, none of them. In the original plot, although Netero's powerful palm flew hundreds of meters away, it did not cause any damage to her. She caused only minor abrasions. Especially in the face of the grown Gon, Neferpitou survived 2 heavy blows and remained conscious. Gon had to strike repeatedly to completely destroy his head. It can be said that Neferpitou is second only to the Ant King in the chimeric ant race, and this super existence can indeed bring the strongest sense of oppression to Kate, Gon, HxH, and Kurapika. The 4 are not on the same level as Neferpitou at all. Heitsi Wushang, a dance beyond limits. Neferpitou summoned the demon puppeteer, and the puppeteer manipulated Neferpitou's body by chanting strings. The muscles of the originally bent feet began to expand, showing strength and speed beyond the limit. In an instant, Neferpitou turned into a ray of red light, and rushed towards Lan Fei at such a frighteningly fast speed that it was difficult for the naked eye to catch it. In the blink of an eye, he appeared in front of Lan Fei. What a speed! Lan Fei's pupils shrank. Even though he had the speed of light, he was shocked by the speed displayed by Neferpitou. This is the first super master that Lan Fei has encountered since he traveled to this world, whose speed can surprise him. It can be said that the speed of Neferpitou is completely close to the speed of light. Too strong. If Lan Fei hadn't blocked her attack before, I'm afraid I would have been torn apart by her sharp claws. It's no wonder that her circle can cover such a large area, and it's no wonder that her body has such a terrifying sense of oppression. I'm not on the same level as her at all. This kind of monster can only be dealt with by the world's top 5 powerhouses like Jin. Kate took a deep breath. As Jin's disciple, although he was confident, he felt endless pressure in the face of Neferpitou. Of course, this also shows from the side that Lan Fei's strength is comparable to the world's top 5 powerhouses. Clang. At the same time, the Tiankongyan sword in Lan Fei's hand slashed directly at Neferpitou, but was shaken by Neferpitou's sharp claws. Boom. During the confrontation, a super strong aura burst out from both of them. One was a crimson aura, the other was a golden aura. They collided with each other and wiped each other away, and the aftermath that swept out swept Gon, Chiya, and Kurapika were all thrown into the air. Only Kate could still stand in place, but the pressure of the oncoming aura made his feet sink deeply into the rocks. Boom. The crimson light and golden light collided with each other for nearly 30 seconds before they dissipated, and the final aftermath tore apart the surrounding towering trees. It is conceivable how terrifying the battle between the two must be. Bang bang bang. After the two flew back, Lan Fei held the Tiankongyan sword again and started a melee battle with Neferpitou. Faced with the pressure from Lan Fei, Neferpitou did not dare to neglect. His sharp claws were not inferior to the Amazono sword, and he blocked the Amazono sword's attack one by one. This is Neferpitou's powerful attack weapon, which can completely tear apart human limb skeleton. 0. Ask for flowers. As expected of being a member of the guard directly under the Ant King, the strength is really abnormal. Lan Fei's figure flew back again. He can be sure that Neferpitou's strength is completely comparable to the shocking door that he opened the 8 Gates Dunjia. Once he opens the Gate of Death, he can take Neferpitou every minute and every second. After the full level 8 Door Dungeon is opened, Lan Fei feels that no matter whether it is Shishong or Ye Kai, he can completely confront the Ant King head on. You're good too. You were the first person to make me feel threatened. 0. So, I must kill you. Neferpitou said coldly, staring at Lan Fei with red eyes as if staring at prey. You can't kill me. Lan Fei grinned, and a drop of blood dripped slowly from the edge of Tiankongyan's sword in his hand. Next, accept my judgment. I saw Lan Fei raised his hand, and the Tiankongyan sword slowly drew out a circle of light in his hand, and his figure was standing in the circle of light. Ong. As the blood on the Tiankongyan sword dripped into the aperture, a strange curse pattern also appeared in the aperture, which was clearly the mark of a skull. This is the Lan Fei trait Nen, curse. In his previous formulation with the system, once the Tiankongyan sword hurts someone, it can start the curse ceremony. Accept your trial. Neferpitou frowned. She stared at Lan Fei stepping into the aperture. This is your blood. It was accidentally injured by my Tiankongyan sword just now. Lan Fei showed a playful smile. My blood. Neferpitou's frown deepened. She touched her cheek, and there was indeed a crack, and there was still blood on it. Apparently, during the close combat with Lan Fei, she was injured by the blade of Tiankongyan's sword. Neferpitou's limbs can indeed explode with amazing strength and speed, but this does not mean that all parts of her body are indestructible. Chapter 146 The Toy Repairer. The collision between repair and curse. Open black lens bracket subscription close black lens bracket. Damn human. Neferpitou wiped the blood on his face with his fingers, then put it on the corner of his mouth and licked it. His face suddenly became ferocious. Boom. In an instant, a more terrifying aura erupted, her speed increased to the extreme, and she rushed towards Lan Fei with an undisguised killing intent. Wow. At this moment, the Tiankongyan sword in Lan Fei's hand also moved. He raised his hand, and chopped down at his right foot. This is Lan Fei's curse Nen, which is exactly the same as Hidan in Hokage. The self-mutilation damage is all added to the enemy. Moreover, Lan Fei can be elementalized, so even self-mutilation is not a big problem. Lan Fei, what is he going to do? Kate couldn't help being surprised to see Lan Fei holding up the Tiankongyan sword and slashing at her right foot. Self-mutilation. 107. Gon was also dumbfounded when he saw Lan Fei's incredible method for the first time. Lan Fei, wake up, what are you doing? Chiya shouted sharply. He thought Lan Fei had been frightened by Neferpitou's aura and lost his will. Self-mutilation. Could it be? What kind of incredible Nen is this? Seeing this scene, Kurapika was also shocked. Just when Neferpitou rushed in front of Lan Fei and raised his sharp claws, Lan Fei couldn't help grinning, showing a meaningful smile, and Tiankongyan's sword directly slashed across his right foot, which immediately flew up. What? Seeing this scene, Kate, Gon, Chiya, and Kurapika were all taken aback. Really self-harm? Is Lan Fei crazy? Cut off his own right foot. Exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark. Suddenly, a strange scene appeared. Just when Kate and others were shocked, Neferpitou, who was rushing towards Lan Fei, suddenly fell over because of his high speed, and fell heavily on the ground, smashing the rock into a big hole. Pit, and her right foot was broken at the moment Lan Fei's right foot was thrown into the air. How is this going? Neferpitou was stunned, his right foot was broken. Moreover, it was broken at the same moment as the right foot of the boy in front of him. When did you get attacked by him? Could it be? Instantly, Neferpitou thought of a possibility. So, this is his Nen. Neferpitou took a deep breath. As the most talented and intelligent member of the guard directly under the Ant King, she immediately thought of a possibility, that is Lan Fei's Nen. Suddenly, at this moment, I saw Lan Fei's flying right foot turned into a dazzling golden light, heading straight towards the place where he was disconnected. So far, there was not a drop of blood spattered, but Neferpitou, a strange purple-black blood gushed out at the moment his foot was severed. In the blink of an eye, Lan Fei's right foot was back to normal, and it looked nothing at all. It has to be said that the ability of elementalization is too perverted, combined with Lan Fei's curse Nen, it is almost unsolvable. Kate's eyes widened. The scene in front of me was incredible. Can a broken leg heal itself? As a powerful hunter, Kate has experienced too much and seen too much, but this is the first time she has seen such a weird scene. Could this be Lan Fei's trait Nen? This guy, Lan Fei, must be using the trait Nen now. It is similar to the healing chain of my thumb. Kurapika took a deep look at Lan Fei. Now, he finally knows why Lan Fei chose to self-mutilate, and he also knows why Lan Fei's Nen is called a curse. This kind of trait Nen is really terrible, just like his own healing chain. Instantly heals, but the defense decreases sharply when heals. But Lan Fei's is to transfer his own damage to the enemy, and he has no side effects. This is the curse. The broken right foot can turn into golden light and grow back by itself. Isn't this too weird? When did Lan Fei practice this incredible Nen? Gon opened his mouth, not knowing what to say. As a bond of brothers, how much strength does Lan Fei still hide? Too strong. Is Lan Fei really only 13 years old? How did this weird Nen come out? HxH also felt incredible. The broken right foot can grow back by itself. Wouldn't my own curse Nen be useless to Neferpitou? In an instant, a huge humanoid doll appeared behind her. As for the toy repairer summoned by Neferpitou, although Lan Fei's memory is a little fuzzy, he can still pick it up a bit. Neferpitou took a deep breath. Toy repairer. Can broken feet be stitched? Such a weird Nen will definitely threaten the Queen Ant. We must stop him before the king is born, so that he cannot harm the Queen Ant. Lan Fei, on the other hand, still stared at Neferpitou with a smile on his face, without any pressure at all. He just wanted Neferpitou to use all his means. In addition, the toy repairer is connected to Neferpitou's cat tail, and once summoned, he cannot move. Therefore, Neferpitou's range of action is limited to a radius of 20 meters. 5.5 Neferpitou once used this feature to get rid of being hit by Netero. Flying dilemma. The toy repairer is Neferpitou's assistant Nen. Its body is a huge humanoid doll, which can be used to repair damaged tissues and organs, prevent dead bodies from rotting, and modify the function and shape of organs. In the original plot, Neferpitou also used a toy repairer to cut off Pam's memory and motor nerve network, so that he could not freely control his actions. As Neferpitou's voice fell, the broken right foot was pulled back by the doll behind her with a thread, and then blocked on the cut. However, toy repair requires a lot of energy, so Neferpitou cannot use other abilities during the skill activation. In an instant, the purple-black blood stopped overflowing, and the doll behind Neferpitou began to sew up Neferpitou's broken foot at a speed that was difficult to catch with the naked eye. Repair. This guy should belong to the special human being at the top level, right? Is it similar to Phantom Troupe member Maki's Nen? Even Lan Fei showed a hint of surprise at the moment. This scene instantly alerted Kate, Gon, HxH, and Kurapika. This scene also shocked Kate, Gon, HxH, and Kurapika. Chapter 147 The Birth of Menthuthupi and Shyapov. The guards directly under the Ant King open black lens bracket subscription close black lens bracket. I'd like to see if your stitching speed is faster, or the Tiankongan sword in my hand is faster. Seeing Neferpitou summoning a toy repairer, Lan Fei couldn't help but snorted coldly, and slowly chopped off his left foot with the Amazono cloud sword in his hand. In an instant, a left leg was directly thrown away. At the same moment, Neferpitou's left leg was also thrown away, and purple-black blood could be vaguely seen splashing out of the incision. Repair. After learning about Lan Fei's Nen, Neferpitou can only summon a toy repairer to deal with Lan Fei's curse at this moment. Also, with the toy repairer summoned, Neferpitou can no longer launch other attacks. Seemingly aware of Neferpitou's predicament at the moment, both Kate and HxH are eager to try to solve this scourge. Kate, Gon, HxH, Kurapika, don't do anything. Leave this little cat to me to solve it. It's not easy to meet an opponent with good strength. I have to have a good time. Lan Fei glanced at the eager Kate and HxH. But Kate took a deep breath and stared at Neferpitou. Don't worry, with me here, this little cat won't be able to get through any big storms. Lan Fei said lightly. Kate, HxH, Kurapika, just leave this guy to Lan Fei, he has the strength. Gon never doubted Lan Fei's strength. Although, the strength shown by Lan Fei shocked Gon again and again, but it was precisely because of this unfathomable strength that he believed in Lan Fei even more and never questioned it. Well, as long as we kill this guy, no one should be able to stop us. The queen ants must be eradicated, otherwise, there will be endless troubles. Kate nodded. The strength of this enemy that appeared in front of her was beyond imagination. If it wasn't for Lan Fei, her group would have been wiped out. Also, is she the only one with a horrible existence like Neferpitou? If there are a few more, it will be a catastrophe for mankind. Just when Lan Fei was fighting Neferpitou, the deepest part of the queen ant's nest. The last two giant eggs hanging on the rock wall cracked slowly, and there were still drops of blue mucus dripping from them. Kacha. Accompanied by a cracking sound, the egg shell cracked a big hole again, and 2 figures slowly fell from the giant egg. The last 2 direct guards were finally born. The Queen Ant stared at the 2 figures in front of her, and then touched her big belly. My king is about to be born. Perhaps, only you can lead the entire chimeric ant colony to the peak, replace the human world, and make humans become our food and our slaves. Her Majesty. At this time, 2 figures slowly took shape, showing the appearance of human beings. They all knelt on one knee facing the Queen Ant. From now on, your name will be HxH. The Queen Ant looked at the handsome and elegant man with a pair of wings. Thank you, Her Majesty, for the name. HxH nodded respectfully. You are called Menthathuyupi. The Queen Ant looked at another figure, who looked a little fierce, and his strong body made him look very explosive. Thank you Her Majesty the Queen for the name. Menthathuyupi also nodded respectfully. Although they were born to serve the king, their king has not yet been born, and Her Majesty the Queen is their object of loyalty. Get up. The Queen Ant waved her hand. By the way, Neferpitou has been out for a while, maybe he met a powerful special human being, so you should also go out to practice your hands, and learn the nen of human beings by the way. Feel the beauty of this world. The Queen Ant ordered. Obey. Menthathuyupi and HxH looked at each other before standing up respectfully. Interesting. So much fun. The dazzling golden light slowly converged on Lan Fei's left leg, and the left leg that had been cut off by him grew out again and returned to its original shape. And Neferpitou's left leg was now stitched back by the toy repairer she summoned. Although the stitching speed is fast, it is much slower than Lan Fei's elementalization. Next, it's your hands. I want to see if I can sew your head back when I cut it off. Lan Fei grinned. Wow. As soon as the words fell, Lan Fei slowly raised the Tiankongyan sword, and slashed at his left hand. Puff. In an instant, the left arm was severed and thrown away. At the same moment, Neferpitou's left arm also fell to the ground, and purple-black blood spurted out. Damn it. If this continues, you will be dragged to death. This human nen is so weird that it can heal itself, and my stitching speed is much slower than his. Moreover, once he cuts off the tail and the head, even if he summons the toy repairer, there is probably no way to recover. What should I do? Once I die, the Ant Queen will be in danger, and the Great King will not be born. Neferpitou gritted his teeth, he was about to perish right after he was born. The mission has not been completed yet, how could he die so easily? What, are you scared? Sensing a trace of panic in Neferpitou's eyes, Lan Fei couldn't help showing a playful look. 783 scared. Neferpitou sneered, I am not afraid of death, but I am afraid that my mission will not be completed in time, that would be a pity. Human, what's your name? Neferpitou stared at Lan Fei. Lan Fei. Lan Fei said lightly, Lan Fei, I have to say, you have threatened my entire chimeric ant colony, and I will keep you here no matter what. Neferpitou took a deep breath, a hint of madness flashed across his red eyes, and his broken left arm was stitched back together again. You underestimate me, a strong human being. Lan Fei showed a hint of disdain. Wow. The words fell, and after the left arm returned to its original shape, Lan Fei raised his right hand again, and Tiankongyan's sword slowly swiped towards his neck. As long as the head falls, Neferpitou will surely die. The head is the weakness of chimeric ants. As long as the whole head is destroyed, an ant king as strong as Neferpitou will be directly under the guard, and it may be powerless to recover. You underestimate my king's direct guard too. Suddenly, a deep and abrupt voice came into the forest. Boom. At the same time, 2 beams of light pierced the void and came with unparalleled terrifying speed and power. One of the streamers hit Lan Fei fiercely, knocking him away from the golden halo of the curse ceremony out. Chapter 148 Unprecedented Catastrophe, Fighting Against the Ant King's 3 Direct Guards Open black lens bracket subscription close black lens bracket. Okay. This sudden change made Lan Fei feel baffled. Because, the 2 figures that appeared in front of them also concealed their breath, even a master as strong as Lan Fei didn't notice it. This is, damn it, the breath of these 2 people is not weaker than that of Catwoman, are they also the direct guards of the Queen Ant? Kate was taken aback. One Neferpitou is already a headache for them, now there are 2 other chimeric ants that are not weak, and they are both at the same level as Neferpitou, how can they stop them? Gon, Chia, Kurapika, you have to be careful, these 2 are very strong, not weaker than this Catwoman. Kate's figure flickered and stood in front of Gon. What? Gon was taken aback, not weaker than Catwoman. Feeling the powerful aura pressure from HxH and Menthathuyupi, Chia couldn't help swallowing. Now we're in big trouble. With Lan Fei's strength, it may be difficult to block the joint attack of the 3 of them. Even if it's Kate, it might be very difficult to block the next one. Kurapika began to analyze the power gap between the 2 sides. If you are not careful, maybe everyone will be wiped out by the group. Okay. This guy, is it the direct guard Menthathuyupi? After being knocked 10 meters away from the golden light circle, Lan Fei's figure stopped. He stared at Menthathuyupi calmly, and recognized this guy at a glance. The 3 direct guards of the Ant King each have their own strengths and weaknesses, as well as their looks and behavior styles. In Lan Fei's impression, Neferpitou is undoubtedly the most contributing ant among chimeric ants. It was she who developed the entire chimeric ant nen, which improved the quality of the entire race. It was eradicated before it was used for a long time. What's more, she is still a master of 1x1, integrating medical assistance, control of team battles, detection and defense, and agility and high attack. What a comprehensive master. The most important thing is that Neferpitou is gentle and considerate to his subordinates. Not stupid. But Shyapov only knows how to speculate on the emperor's heart, and he is loyal to the identity of the king. In order to make Meru M the ideal king in his heart, he does not hesitate to deceive Meru M's memory about wheat. Of course, if Shyapov is mentally ill, then Menthethuyupi is completely brainless. Menthethuyupi, which is completely composed of monster genes, will transform into an attack whenever it gets angry. Its IQ is very low, and it is a human tank. Now, it was the human tank Menthethuyupi who attacked Lan Fei. Under his impact, Lan Fei couldn't stand it, and his whole body was knocked into the air. Petuo, I didn't expect you to be suppressed by a human being. It's too embarrassing for our chimeric ant colony. No matter what, you are also the king's direct guard. Menthethuyupi glanced at Neferpitou with a proud gesture. Puff, Yupi. Seeing this person, Neferpitou couldn't help but frown. From the moment Shyapov and Menthethuyupi were born, Neferpitou sensed their aura, because Neferpitou's circle directly covered the entire nest, and he knew the names of the two direct guards in front of him from the queen ant's mind. Peter, if you can't take care of these humans, then Menthethuyupi and I will take care of them. Shyapov said flatly. HMPH, the strength of this young human being in front of me is beyond imagination, and he is definitely at the peak of human beings. In a one-on-one situation, unless it is Wang, none of us are his opponents. Neferpitou said coldly. Being looked down upon by these two guys made Neferpitou feel unhappy. As the firstborn direct guard, she also has her own arrogant side. Is this human boy so strong? Menthethuyupi couldn't believe it, and stared at Lan Fei with great interest. In this case, I will be your opponent next, just as Shyapov and I have just been born, we can test how strong we are. Peter, this silver-haired guy is handed over to you. I'll deal with the other three. Shyapov squeezed his chin and stared at Gon, Chiya, and Kurapika with a smile on his face. Quick battle, in order not to have one more dream. Also, these people should be Nen masters. If we kill them and give them to the queen to eat, our king should be born. Neferpitou reminded. Now, she doesn't want to get entangled with Lan Fei anymore. Since she can't kill Lan Fei with her own strength, she can only choose another target. Kate, Gon, original Kurapika. Lan Fei's figure flickered and landed beside Kate. Be careful, if you can't fight, then run away. I can only restrain one person, of course, if I can, I will kill one of them. Gon, Chiya, Kurapika, you three retreat first, after I break up with Lan Fei. The spider's head flickered and appeared in Li Ming's eyes. The direction to the east is his peak. Chiya couldn't imagine it anymore. At this time, Lan Fei realized the seriousness of the matter and couldn't help but blame himself. I'm sorry, I was too conceited and put you in danger. The direct guards are so powerful, what about the Ant King, Wang Zhao they are talking about? We have to wait until the Hunter Association sends someone over to defeat them. These three are too strong, and their powerful aura is even more terrifying than Hisoka. I can't bring up any fighting spirit at all. The sound of ants overflows from the bottom of Heiyi's heart bit by bit, and the fiery red eyes will be swallowed by the darkness. At that moment, the king of mankind will eventually lose his breath. At this moment, feeling the powerful aura of the three people in front of her, Kate's face also became dignified. The strength of these three people is at the same level as Lan Fei. We are no match at all. Kurapika gritted his teeth, a look of madness suddenly appeared in his eyes. About Nyan Nasra's prophecy, am I really inescapable? It's because we are too arrogant. The chimeric ants we met before were all just little ones. Now these three are truly unattainable enemies. Gon shook. His premonition is getting stronger and stronger, maybe he has to explain here. Yeah, faced with this feeling of oppression, my confidence has been shattered. Fortunately, the other two direct guards came to support them, instantly turning the situation around and putting Kate and the others in an irreparable disaster. He could have opened the 8 gates Dunjia for a quick battle and killed Neferpitou on the ground. Chapter 149 Full-level Bamen Dunjia, Lan Fei's The Ant King's direct guard open black lens bracket subscription close black lens bracket. Lan Fei, it's not your fault. Everything is because chimeric ants have evolved so fast and so miraculously that they can reach the peak level of human beings. Kate glanced at Lan Fei, her face extremely serious. Yeah, their strength is afraid that only the Hunter Association can resist them. Kurapika nodded. The strength of the guards directly under him is so powerful, isn't the king even more terrifying? As a killer, Chiya felt the crisis of death for the first time so far. Lan Fei, I can't blame you, it's because we are too arrogant. If it was just you and Kate, maybe it wouldn't be the way it is now. Gon shook his head with a wry smile. Don't worry, I won't let you die here. Lan Fei took a deep breath, and the Tiankongyan sword turned into dots of golden light, and disappeared in Yu's hand. Boom. Immediately afterwards, an unprecedented aura erupted from Lan Fei's body, and the golden aura rushed towards the three of Neferpitou like a tsunami. Lan Fei's aura is stronger than Neferpitou, Shyapov, and Menthethuyupi, almost the best among human beings. 793. This boy, sensing Lan Fei's powerful aura, Neferpitou's expression changed drastically. Maybe, he can threaten me. Shyapov squinted and stared at Lan Fei coldly. Must kill him. If he is allowed to live, my king may not be able to be born safely. Menthethuyupi grinned and said, with murderous intent in his eyes. Kate, Gon, Chiya, Kurapika. You guys fight and retreat, I will block them for 10 minutes. Also, Don't get close to me, so as not to affect you. Bamen Dunjia, Tianmen Squad. Boom. Lan Fei instantly opened the 8 Door Dunjia, and his already powerful aura continued to rise under the blessing of the full level 8 Door Dunjia, reaching an unprecedented height. 8 Door Dunjia, Hue Door open. Boom. The chi on Lan Fei's body was still rising, and a trace of steam began to emerge from his whole body. It's so terrifying. This guy Lan Fei. What he showed before is not his full strength. Kate stared at Lan Fei, frightened by the rising chi on Lan Fei's body. This boy, too terrifying. No wonder he can suppress me, he already has Shiwu who can rival Wang in his feelings. Sensing the powerful aura from Lan Fei, Neferpito's face changed suddenly again. Lan Fei it's too strong. This breath is stronger than Daddy's, even stronger than Grandpa's. I'm afraid it's comparable to President Netero. The first time Chiya saw Lan Fei open the 8 Door Dunjia, he was instantly shocked. Kate, Chiya, Kurapika, our strength is no longer at the same level as Lan Fei, and if we stay, we will only ask him to retreat. Gon exhorted. 8 Doors Dunjia, life door opens. 8 Door Dunjia, open the door of injury. Bamen Dunjia, go out to work. 8 Gates Dunjia, Jingmun open. In an instant, the aura on Lan Fei's body instantly climbed to another height, and the golden color transformed into green. 8 Door Dunjia, open the door in shock. Boom. Suddenly, the green aura on Lan Fei's body turned blue, and the terrifying aura was still on the rise. 8 Doors Dunjia, doors of death open. Boom. In an instant, the aura on Lan Fei's body surged again, and the blue color turned into red, as if the blood in his body was burning, and even his hair stood on end. It has to be said that under the blessing of Bamen Dunjia, Lan Fei's reading has climbed to an unprecedented height. This kind of height, I am afraid that only President Netero can match it. After all, President Netero is a monster who has cultivated for an unknown number of years. Even when Chi Ya's grandfather was very young, President Netero was in the current state and appearance. This is the full strength of Lan Fei. Kate swallowed, and the aura displayed by Lan Fei made him feel terrified. Even Master Jin, I'm afraid he can't reach such strength. Is this guy really only 13 years old? Looking at the entire human race in the world, only Chairman Netero has such strength. Reaching the height of Netero's president at the age of 13. This is no ordinary pervert. The gap between us and him is really too big. Lan Fei seems to be at the pinnacle of humanity. Chiya opened her mouth, not knowing what to say. Lan Fei, is this all your strength? No wonder I have been unable to catch up with you, you have already reached the ceiling of this world. Gon took a deep breath and looked at Lan Fei with fiery eyes. Lan Fei has become an unattainable goal for him. What a terrible gas. This young man should already be regarded as the pinnacle of human beings. He must not be allowed to live. Menthathuyupi, do it. Neferpito's crimson pupils suddenly widened. She knew that if she didn't get rid of Lan Fei, she might become a strong enemy of the king who was about to be born. Do it. Sensing the powerful aura from Lan Fei, Shyapov was a little scared, but still did not lose the face and arrogance of the Ant King's direct guard, and rushed towards Lan Fei first. Kill him. In an instant, a crimson light flashed in Menthathuyupi's eyes, which was boundless murderous aura, and rushed towards Lan Fei. After witnessing Lan Fei's terrifying aura, the three people who had originally divided the tasks all rushed towards Lan Fei. Kate, take them back first. Lan Fei yelled at Kate, stepped on his foot, and rushed towards the most explosive Menthathuyupi. Sunset. Lan Fei directly punched out a super high-speed punch. The powerful fist compressed the air continuously, forming the super attack power of the air cannon, and blasted at Menthathuyupi. The terrifying power distorted the void. Chapter 150 Kate Broken Arm, the strongest blow Yi Kai. Open black lens bracket subscribe close black lens bracket. Yuppie, watch out. Suddenly, Neferpito shouted loudly. Having fought against Lan Fei, she knows Lan Fei's terrifying strength well. Even if the three of them team up, they may not be Lan Fei's opponent. Humph, come on, let me feel the strength of the peak human. Gia, Menthathuyupi laughed loudly, and the laughter seemed a little insolent. Boom. As Menthathuyupi's laughter fell, a powerful aura erupted from his body, which was his anger value, and the explosive attack made by his anger was even more powerful. Tentacles, the whole person transformed into the strongest, centaur form. Among the guards directly under the three Ant Kings, he is the only one that does not contain human genes and is purely generated by a mixture of monster genes. He is also the least good at thinking among the three guards. He will attack randomly when he is angry. At this moment, after feeling Lan Fei's powerful strength, all the tentacles on Menthathuyupi's body rose up, and they grabbed Lan Fei's punch. I want to attack Lan Fei. Boom. Lan Fei's powerful punch directly hit Menthathuyupi's tentacles, instantly blasting his figure into the air, sending him hundreds of meters away, and many towering trees were uprooted. How can it be so strong? Menthathuyupi's face was horrified, and he tried his best to stabilize his figure. Exclamation mark comma comma comma. A mouthful of blood coughed out from Menthathuyupi's mouth, his face turned pale instantly, and the powerful aura on his body also wilted a lot under the Lan Fei sunset. Two-legged. Lan Fei didn't stop at all, and punched Neferpito again. The powerful fist wind compressed the air into an air cannon, and the power distorted the void. Boom. If hit hard, Neferpito's figure will also fly upside down. Even though she has super explosive power and close combat strength, she is still not Lan Fei's opponent. This punch made her fly backwards at an extremely fast speed, drawing a stream of light in the void. Damn, this boy is too strong, it's not an option to go on like this. Yuppie, Pufu, you two drag him, and I'll take care of the others. Toy repairer. While flying upside down, Neferpitou summoned the toy repairer again, and the huge humanoid doll appeared directly behind her, connected her tail, and directly controlled her body with the help of the humanoid doll's mind line, and forced Lan Fei's punch. The impact is removed. Under my twilight, there was no injury. Seeing Neferpitou stabilizing his figure, Lan Fei couldn't help being surprised. His own Xixiang even severely injured Menthuyupi, but he didn't expect that he couldn't hurt Neferpitou. As expected of the strongest of the three members directly under the guard, Xixiang might not be able to harm her. Her physical strength is too terrifying. Lan Fei thought to himself. Boom. Suddenly, at this moment, Neferpitou's legs bulged, his muscles swelled suddenly, and his whole body formed a half-bent posture, and then burst out, drawing a streamer in the air, and rushed towards Kate and the others. Scary fast. Not good. Kate, watch out. Lan Fei's face changed drastically, and he wanted to turn around and rush towards Neferpitou, but was blocked by Shyapov. Fine scales are the fountain of love. Shyapov directly resorted to his own trump card, and a flash of radiant scale powder instantly swayed out of his hands, spreading along the air in all directions. Damn it. Everyone be careful. Lan Fei took a deep breath and held his breath for an instant. Shyapov's scale powder is a spring of love. Lan Fei knows its power and pointed out that these scale powder can enter the human body through breathing to create a hypnotic effect, but the main effect is to show the flow of qi around the opponent. Pufu can use it to observe airflow reads out the emotional state of the opponent. Boom. At this moment, the injured Menthuyupi appeared behind Lan Fei at some point, and the terrifying tentacles entangled directly towards Lan Fei. Jia, you can't escape now, can you? Menthuyupi stared at Lan Fei ferociously, blood still remained at the corner of his mouth. Gone, Chiya, Kurapika, get out of my side. At the same time, on the other side, before Kate had time to think, an afterimage passed in front of her, which was Neferpitou. 0. Puff. In the blink of an eye, blood spattered, one arm separated from Kate's body, flew up out of thin air, and then fell heavily on the grass. Okay. Kate's figure flew back, staring at Neferpitou solemnly. Even though an arm was cut off by Neferpitou's sharp claws, he didn't feel the slightest pain at the moment. Because the fear has suppressed the pain. The response is a bit slow. Your strength is much weaker than that brat. Neferpitou turned his head, a red light flashed in his crimson eyes, and a terrifying thought field instantly crushed Gon, Chiya, and Kurapika. 0. Gon was taken aback. Kate. Chiya also felt Neferpitou's terrible suppression of the mind field, and the fear in his heart had already made his body stiff, unable to move at all. Too strong. One face-to-face breaks one of Kate's arms. Kurapika's eyes widened, and his nerves tensed up. With such a powerful opponent, Lan Fei can fight against 3 with 1. Then how terrifying is Lan Fei's strength? 3-legged. 4-legged. 5-legged. Exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark. Suddenly, Lan Fei's figure turned into an elemental element, dodged Menthuyupi's attack, and then cast Xixiang again. The powerful fist wind formed an air cannon, blasting Menthuyupi into the air again, and even Shyapov was blasted out by Lan Fei's punch hundreds of meters away. Not good. Damn it. I told you to retreat first, why didn't you listen? Neferpitou. Lan Fei gritted his teeth and stared at Neferpitou coldly. Product. Yekai. Boom. In an instant, Lan Fei's chi climbed to another height again, his whole body squatted down, and then a red light flashed across the void, and he kicked Neferpitou at top speed.